Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Tim Cole along with Bob Hintz. WHES presents high school softball. The Bethel Bruins versus the Kecoughtan Warriors, the girls' teams. And Bob, we've got what could be a mismatch as far as the records are concerned. What do you know about these teams?
Well, the first game, I talked to Coach Esep for Bethel. In the first game, they committed about 7 or 8 turnovers and errors. And, you know, playing softball, you can't give away a lot of runs, but they gave 11 runs in the first 2 innings, and they couldn't get back and end up losing that game. Kecoughtan on the other side, they're playing good. They've got a good group of girls. They're tied for first with Phoebus, a game we'll do this week, and they're really up for this game. They know that they want to go into the Phoebus game with only 1 loss. And, of course, that's Coach McDonald over there. We have the referees, or the umpires, I should say. That's Mike Rhea, who is behind the plate, and Reggie Fullwood will be on the bases.
And our fans have to forgive us. We're not particularly familiar with either one of these teams. And if we refer to the halfback and the quarterback and the
well, if we talk about the sweeper,
center and the forward, and the sweeper and the kickers, but we'll get into 2 of that, I'm sure. But it's our pleasure to bring you girls softball here on WHCS, as this will be the first of 2 girls softball teams we'll be covering. As Bob mentioned earlier, rather later in the week, we'll have Phoebus and Kecoughtan, a game being played at Phoebus High School. We're set to go. Stepping in for the first batter of the game is Rochelle Jacobs, leadoff batter, and she takes strike 1.
And she's one of the captains on the team. Kecoughtan has 3 captains on their team.
I guess that makes them tri-captains, huh?
Ah, there you go.
And ball high, so it's 1-1 the count.
Well, she bats .333, Tim, but when she's on base, she's got a .650 average of getting on base. I'm sorry, from the batting position. So, ooh, nice swing.
She drives 1 foul down the third baseline, so the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes.
You got a lot of information. Both coaches were very, very helpful in giving me information on the girls. So we get a chance, we're going to get some of that information out to let them know that they're not just ball players, but also academically very sound also, Tim.
Well, we've got 7 innings to do that, and we will certainly get that information to you as we go along. The count has run now to 2 balls and 2 strikes on the leadoff batter. And a full count now, as that pitch was high. The battery for the game is Julie Hunt. That's the pitcher you see. Full count. And a fat pitch, line to the shortstop for the out.
And that's, who is that, Missy Clark? No, I'm sorry, that's the Bethel shortstop. That's Kirsten McVicker. Beautiful job.
And the batter now is number 20, Amber Roughton.
I don't know if you read the paper this morning or not, Tim, but Amber Roughton is one of the 6 Kecoughtan students that's going to the Soviet Union for science this year. And that's quite an honor.
Hit past the shortstop. So Amber Roughton will hold it first with a single to left.
But they'll spend a full month over in Soviet Union studying science this summer.
And Missy Clark, the shortstop, number 14, steps in. Squares around to bunt. And the runner's going. The throw is into center field. No one was covering second, and ending up at third with no difficulty at all on a 2-base steal. Or I guess it's a steal and an error.
Well, this is one thing that Richard McDonald, the coach at Kecoughtan, told me, Tim, is they get somebody on base, they run. If you can look at some of the statistics, you got you can see here the slow motion replay, but they have attempted 146 steals this year and have been successful in 142 of them.
Bethel holds the runner at third, now coming to the plate, and she is safe. So the play at first is an out, and then scoring on the out is the leadoff batter. And check that, Amber Roughton, the second batter, who goes in to score and makes the score 1-0 now. And there are 2 outs.
Well, there's where that error comes in, Tim. She would have never scored had not been an error on that throw when she stole second. So is that an unearned run?
I would think so. But I'm not going to get into earned runs. Runs here.
Yes, that sounds good, Scotty.
We're discussing everything looks fine with our director here as a last-minute get-together for the crew here as far as assembling the equipment. It's real hard to do a remote, you know, when you're at a stadium, you got all your power outlets and things like that. It's real easy, but our crew doing their usual great job has set up here in fine fashion, and I hope you're enjoying the ball game. Kecoughtan has gone out on top 1-0. Ball low. Count is 3 balls and 1 strike. Batter right now is Emily Belbin, the first baseman. And she swings and misses, strike 2. So the count is full to Emily. The bases are clear, and 1 run is across. Popped up to the first baseman, and instead the pitcher, Hunt, goes over and makes the out.
Well, outside of that error, Tim, that was a good inning for the Bruins.
So the Bruins get 1 hit.
No, the Warriors.
Excuse me, the Warriors get 1 hit, and a stolen base and an error, and then that runner, who was Amber Roughton, scored on and out to first to make it 1-0. And coming to bat will be the Bethel Bruins.
As you can see there, that last out, the nice catch by the pitcher or the Bruins. And that's Miss Hunt, who is, by the way, Tim, only a 9th grader. I see the Bethel coach is already working the officials. I have to tease Larry a little bit. I don't know how you work it, but
the Kecoughtan Warriors are 9-1, while the Bruins are 2-5 so far in the season. Now we have a little bit of time here, unlike the very beginning of the game. We got a little bit behind, but the Warrior pitching tandem will find the pitcher is Carrie Price. She's number 19, and Julie Thompson will be her battery mate. You have a wealth of information.
I tell you what,
usual,
the coaches have just done a super job for us.
Well, that's nice, and we enjoy bringing all aspects of the different sports that are available on the peninsula. And of course, we had the pleasure of doing a softball game last year, and earlier this month we did a soccer match. Actually, did 2 soccer matches over at the new Darling Stadium. And we'll have another softball game later this week, a Friday afternoon game being played at Kecoughtan.
They'll be played at Phoebus.
Excuse me. Kecoughtan will be playing at Phoebus. And then we'll have a couple of baseball games for you during the first week in May. So we're just about set to get underway. Stepping in, first batter will be Kirsten McVicker. She is the shortstop for the Bruins. First pitch from the left-hander is outside, ball 1.
McVicker's only played 2 years of organized softball, so that's get into the starting lineup and also be the leadoff batter is quite an accomplishment.
Strike called on the outside corner. 1-1 is the count. Nobody out, first inning, bottom of the first. Kecoughtan leading 1-0. And strike 2. Carrie Price has found that outside corner for 2 strikes here. And this one is popped up on the right side. It'll go out of play off the top of the dugout. The count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Almost got our cameraman up there.
One of the hazards of the duty. One ball, 2 strikes. Nobody on. Bottom half of the first. Tim Cole and Bob Hintz bringing you the Kecoughtan Warriors and the Bethel Bruins. Girls AAA softball. Left-hander delivers. It's popped to right field and under it and making the catch for the first out.
And that was Jennifer Hughes. I'm sorry. That was not Jennifer Hughes.
No, that was Blake Routon out in right field, number 17.
And she is the sister to Amber Routon.
Coming to the plate now, Jennifer Hubble. Number 7, she plays second base for the Lady Bruins.
Well, Carrie Price is a 9-1 record, Tim, and she's been playing softball for, been a starter for 4 years at Kecoughtan.
Hubble squares around, fakes the bunt, takes ball high. I believe it was Kecoughtan we saw last year, wasn't it? The game that we covered?
Yes, we did. No. It was Hampton and Phoebus last year.
Phoebus.
We had a schedule, but rain messed us up.
2 balls and 1 strike. Jennifer Hubble batting second, 1 away. And this one's in the dirt, 3-1. Beautiful afternoon out here at Forest Elementary. Temperature in the upper 70s.
Ooh, this is beautiful.
Good golf weather, huh, Bob?
You read my mind like a book.
Hubble takes strike 2, so the count runs full on Jennifer Hubble, as Price again found that outside corner.
She has, Carrie Price has a 1.87 ERA, Tim, which is nothing to sneeze at.
That's outstanding. And she throws this one low for ball 4. So
she averages about 4.5, maybe almost 5 walks a game, so that's not unusual for her, although she's a steady pitcher for the Warriors.
Jill Daskowski, the third baseman, steps in. 1 on, 1 out. And she takes ball 1 low. Kecoughtan 1-0 right now, bottom of the first. Warriors scored on a stolen base and an error and a put out. This was outside for ball 2.
Jill is only 15 years old, a 10th grader, but she's one of the co-captains on the team. She not only plays softball, but she's also on the basketball team and the Bethel tennis team.
All-around athlete. Left-hander delivers, strike 1 call. 2 balls and a strike to Jill Daskowski, and I hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly. I can always reach out and touch her, so if I say her name wrong, she'll have around and turn around and hit me. And she nails this one into left field, right down the line, over the left fielder's head for extra bases. And holding up at second base, Daskowski with a double down the left field line.
Well, I don't want to second guess Larry on that, but I believe she could have scored.
Well, you know, against Kecoughtan, when you're down against a team that's 9-1, I guess you have a tendency to be a little cautious.
Yeah.
I think you're right in retrospect, but retrospect is always true.
Oh, yeah. I can sit here and watch the ball being thrown wildly and can say that.
So 1 away, 2 on. Let's get a chance to watch this again. Here you see the ball just over the left fielder's head and going all the way to the fence as Daskowski got good metal on the ball.
We used to say wood on the ball.
Yeah, I had to change that sentence in midstream here.
She made good contact with the ball.
There you go. Strike 1 call to the designated hitter. And pronounce her first name again for me.
Where is she?
Miss Johnson, number 14. N-A-K-I-A.
Nakia.
Nakia. Okay, just like I thought it was. Nakia Johnson over the outstretched glove of the shortstop. And coming in to score and going to second will be Johnson on the throw-in. So the Bruins have a rally going here.
Well, that was just off the glove of the shortstop for the Warriors, who is Missy Clark. She just got the top part of the glove. That was a well-hit ball.
So the Bruins have tied this game up at 1-all, and they still have this rally going strong with just 1 out. Runners on second and third, and the batter is Amy Anthony, the first baseman. Amy wearing lucky 13 on her back.
She is also just a sophomore. This is a young team for the Bruins.
And Carrie Price throws ball 1 outside. Amy Anthony, the first baseman, 2 on, 1 out. 1 run across. And this one's low and away, ball 2. Ball 3 away. The ball gets away from the catcher, but the backstop is so close to home plate here at the field that even if it gets away from the catcher, it's only 6 to 8 feet behind her. So it'd be very difficult to score from third on a pass ball or a loose or bad pitch. 3 balls, no strikes. And this one's down the pipe for the automatic.
Well, she was taken all the way that time.
1 run across, runners at second and third. 3 balls, 1 strike to the batter, and that's ball 4 as Amy Anthony will take her base. And that'll load the bags for Jennifer Hughes, the center fielder. Get a chance to watch that last hit by Nakia Johnson. There you saw just over the outstretched hands of the shortstop. And the bases are loaded with just 1 away. Play is at home, according to the catcher. She's signaling to the infield. Julie Thompson telling her teammates, come on home with it. Force play at home with 1 away. Ball high. So the bases are full. Price has no place to put the batter. Jennifer Hughes, she's got a pitch to her. And this was right down the middle, 1-1.
But if you're Kecoughtan, what you were trying to do is get her hit it on the ground, maybe double up, get out of this inning.
Hit to the third baseman. She comes home with the ball, out at home, and everybody else is safe.
That was a nice play, heads up, getting that ball down to the plate, but you called it. That's what they said they wanted.
So the bases are still loaded, but now there are 2 away, and the batter is Victoria Wagaman. She's the left fielder. You get a chance to watch a replay of the last. There you saw the catcher get in position and make that play from the third baseman. 2 away. And a call strike to Victoria Wagaman.
Victoria is another sophomore, just 16 years old, but she last semester she had a 3.67 GPA average, Tim.
And strike 2 called. So Carrie Price here with an opportunity to pitch herself out of some real trouble. She had bases loaded with 1 out, and if she can get this batter, and it's popped up, it should be playable. The pitcher, Price, calls for it and makes the catch. So Carrie Price does an excellent job of getting out of real trouble, as the Bruins have 2 hits, 2 walks given up, and they end up with just 1 run. So you've got to figure out that's pretty good.
Yes, it is.
You consider you had that many people in trouble. Here you see a replay of the last out. This is great slow motion action of the pop-up by Victoria Wagaman.
And you can see she's the pitcher is Carrie is calling for that ball. She wanted it. So we have a tie game. Is that correct?
That is correct. 1-1 after 1 inning. The Kecoughtan Warriors will be coming up. I'm not sure exactly when this game is airing, but if it's prior to Friday, we encourage you to come on out to Phoebus High School for that game between the same Kecoughtan Warriors and the Phoebus Phantoms, the Lady Phantoms.
And that
game
starts
time is 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock.
Phoebus High School. How about you? I'm going to take a little extra time on Friday, take the day or the afternoon off, and go visit my mom before I go down there.
I thought you were going to rub it into me and tell me you're going to go play with your granddaughter since mine's not in town.
Well, I might do that too.
my granddaughter's down in Montgomery, Alabama, and you are teasing me all the time.
No, not me. I would be.
Yeah, I hear you.
Carrie Price steps in, first batter of the second inning for the Warriors, as Carrie did a great job of getting out of trouble there in the first inning. She had all kinds of trouble and was able to get the last two batters to basically hit easy pop-ups and grounders to the third baseman and to herself. So she did a good job.
She did that. She's #1 seed in her tennis team too, so she's all-around athlete.
And she takes strike one. The count is 1-1. And 1-1 is the score. Top half of the second inning. Hit to left field, and misplaying the ball was not left field, but rather right field. The right fielder
might have had a little problem with that sun. I don't know.
Kim Bell had it off of her glove, but we're going to have to charge an error to her on that one, I'm afraid. We have to give an error to the right fielder, as Carrie Price will be on first base. And now some discussion. She's being awarded second base. I'm not sure exactly why. Perhaps interference at first. I'm not sure.
Well, you can see the replay on that.
Definitely, I don't think it was the sun, Bob. The sun would be over her left shoulder, so she's not really looking into the sun. Unfortunately, as try as we may, we really can't come up with a good excuse for that one. She had to run a ways. How about that? She had to run to the ball.
Yeah.
It wasn't an easy play, but nonetheless, she should have had it.
Well, she'd have been running anyway if Coach McDonald is true to form that they would be stealing anyway.
So
and you may see her steal third.
So Carrie Price is awarded second on some call by the umpire, and now she steals third. So far, an error has led to the first run that Kecoughtan scored, and now they have a runner in scoring position, and that benefit of an error. The count goes to 2 balls and no strikes on the batter, number 17, Blake Roughton, the right fielder. And this one's high for ball 3. What do you have on Blake Roughton for us there,
Blake Roughton has not made an error this year. Fielding average is 1,000. Everything's hit to her has done well, but she gets on base. Her on-base average is 656, so that means she's either going to draw a walk or get a hit or something most of the time, because she's batting 316, so she's got a good eye.
And her eye is good this time again as she draws the walk. So runners at the corner. And the batter will be the catcher, Julie Thompson, number 21.
And she's a fourth-year starter for the Warriors. And you can see the Warriors are a little a team with more experience than the Bruins. We had so many sophomores that I talked about batting that last round, and we got so many seniors on the Kecoughtan team. They got a lot more experience.
Blake Roughton took second without any trouble at all. So the runners are now at second and third with nobody out. Ball is low.
Well, Julie's a small gal to be a catcher. She's a diminutive little gal, but she's batting 308 and has an on-base average of 511, and she's looking down at Richard McDonald getting a kind of a sign down there, that or he's swatting flies.
She takes ball 2 high, so the count goes to 1 strike. Should be 2 balls and 1 strike. I'll get it right yet. 2 men on, nobody out. This is low for ball 3.
Well, Julie Hunt's getting herself in a real predicament here. She's going to have the bases loaded. She's not careful with nobody out.
And she has done just that as the ball is low and now trying to steal home, and no, the ball gets loose. So Carrie Price, good hustle, is able to score on the pass ball.
The catcher could have probably tagged her without throwing the ball that time, but it's one of those things that you're usually taught to get the ball to the pitcher covering the base.
So the runners advance. Carrie Price comes in, and the score now is 2-1. And the first pitch to Amy O'Brien, number 15, the second baseman, is high for ball one. And now a timeout is being called, as the conference will be forthcoming, as Larry Estep will go out and talk to his pitcher. She's gotten herself in a bit of problem here.
You know, Tim, sometimes that happens when when your team does such a good job offensively, and a lot of people get on base. You sit longer than normal. You kind of relax, and you're not as keyed up as you were when you walked out there and started the ball game.
We got a chance to watch this last play where Carrie Price basically stole home after. Well, we're not quite ready yet, but that's all right. We got time. Conference is breaking up at the pitcher's mound. There you see some of the crowd on hand. Not exactly a turnaway crowd, but certainly enjoying the play as well as the warm, sun-drenched weather. We may or may not have that replay for you. At any rate, our batter, Amy O'Brien, steps in with a strike call, and
well, whatever Coach Estep said, that's he settled her down. He got to put her right across the plate. Because she may have been up there looking to take the first pitch.
And she swings for strike number 3. So
no, that's just 2.
Check that too. Okay.
But that was not a good pitch. That was a high pitch.
She walked away. I thought she was out, but now she is. So call it an omen, if you will, as Amy O'Brien does in fact go down swinging. And this will bring up the 9th batter, Dorothy Jones, the left fielder. 1 away, 1 run in. And our score 2-1. Again, difficulty finding the softball. Catcher Michelle Gardner. She finally got it, and fortunately for the Bruins, the runner on third held. 1 ball, no strikes to Dorothy Jones.
And this is her first year at organized softball. She's batting .300. And has attempted 2 base steals and successful in both attempts.
And again, the control problems continue. 3 balls and no strikes, as Julie Hunt is really having trouble getting that ball up. It's hitting on a 1-hopper to the catcher on almost every pitch. This time she gets it, but she gets it right over the heart of the plate, and that's going to score at least 1 run. And the Bruins are going to have a play at home, and there is no play, as sliding in safely and shaken up a bit, I might add, is Julie Thompson, the catcher, as she came in and slid hard just to make sure there wasn't a play.
That was a nice hit by Dorothy Jones. As we can see here on the replay, she really makes good contact with the ball just out of the reach of the shortstop.
She really got a nice pitch too. She got one of those waist high right over the middle of the plate that you just love to get.
That looks big and fat coming across there. I think that you and I could have hit that.
I was thinking that very thing when I saw that coming across. I said, oh my goodness. And she didn't mess around with it. Dorothy Jones.
Okay, we got a change of pitchers.
Dorothy singled to center and took second on the play at home, which there really wasn't a play. Ball came in, but it was nowhere even near the catcher. So 3 runs have been plated here by the Warriors in the second inning, and they lead 4-1 now. And we've got, okay, and we appreciate that help from the umpire there. We got Heather Anderson, who has now come in to pitch.
Heather is a junior. She's been playing softball for 8 years. But she comes into a not very advantageous situation with runners at second and third. And I believe just 1 out, if I'm not mistaken.
I was a pitcher, you know. I always like to throw one about 16 feet outside when I was warming up just to keep the batters loose, you know what I mean?
You want to make sure that the team saw that. See, this guy's got a control problem. We better be awake.
And she does, too. Bit of a problem as the ball gets away from the catcher, Gardner, and slipping down to third is Dorothy Jones.
I had said that there was runners at third and second, but there was
no, they came in.
Both of them came in on that last hit.
Yeah, Julie Thompson scored on a good play. And so Heather Anderson is able to find the plate, and she evens the count up at 1-1. The batter is Rochelle Jacobs, the leadoff batter. Takes ball 2. Rochelle lined out to the shortstop in the first inning. 2 balls, 1 strike to Jacobs. And strike 2 swinging. So Heather Anderson has some pretty good stuff. She's got nice velocity on the pitch.
Yeah, she sure does.
She moves pretty well. If she can find the accuracy range, she could give these Warriors a little trouble. And she throws, this one is hit down the third baseline, foul.
Rochelle is batting .333 and has a .650 on base average. She's a third-year starter.
Hits to the third baseman. Over to first for the out, and they are able to hold Jones at third. So a good play as Jacobs.
That was an excellent throw by Jill Deskowski over there from third. That's a tough throw to make, but it was hit in such a way that it helped hold the base runner on. And here we can see the replay of that.
Ball 1 to Amber Roughton, number 20. Amber had a single in the first and scored the first run on a ground out. 1 ball, no strikes to Amber Roughton. And this one's inside for ball 2. Two away here in the top of the second.
Well, Amber is batting .412. She's one of the top on the team and has got an on base of .533, but her fielding average, Tim, is .941. She made all district last year. I'm sorry, second team all district.
Strike called. Inside and low, and that's ball 4.
This is Coach McDonald's third year coaching at Kecoughtan, and he's ended up second the first 2 years he coached, and is tied for first this year. So he's done an excellent job over there with the Warriors.
2 away, and stepping to the plate is Missy Clark, the shortstop. Missy grounded out in the first inning, shortstop to first. No throw, as trotting down to second base is Amber Roughton. So there are runners at second and third now. Dorothy Jones is over at third, and Amber Roughton is at second, but there are 2 away. And this was dubbed down the third baseline. It's a foul ball. Good play by the third baseman.
She does. She's got a nice arm. I'm impressed with her arm.
She says that's Jill Deskowski. She's also got a good swing. She's the young lady that got that double a while ago. So she's not only good with the bat, but she looks pretty good with the arm down there at third base. But the ball was foul. This one is high. And this one inside and low. Count runs to 3-1 on the batter. Missy Clark, 0 for 1 on the afternoon. Runners at second and third, 2 out. Kecoughtan on top, 4-1. Anderson's pitch is high, so she loads the bases. And it'll bring up Emily Belbin, who popped up to the shortstop in the first inning to end the inning. So Anderson has pitched herself into a bit of a problem. Bases loaded. And her first pitch is high.
Well, Emily is just a 9th grader, and this is her first year, and she's a starter on a team that is loaded with a lot of upperclassmen. And she also was on a basketball team.
Inside corner.
Ooh,
nice
that was
pitch by Anderson.
Nice pitch, right across it. She has the highest batting average of the team, Tim. She's batting .429. So that's the gal you want at the plate if you got the bases loaded.
And she pops it up. Second baseman's underneath it, and she makes the catch. So Emily Belbin has the distinction, if you wish to call it that, of ending both of the first and second innings. And after an inning and a half now, get a chance to watch that again, I understand. Slow-mo Joe is going to have that for us.
Oh, boy, he's doing a good job in that slow motion, isn't he? We just give him all kind of accolades, and he didn't pay us a cent.
Oh, we paid him accolades during that soccer match, and then he blew 2 goals in a row. So what can I tell you?
I wasn't going to say that.
No, I'm just picking on him.
3-1.
Just picking on him because I like him, you know. So the Bruins have been a little bit stake-bitten here, as Kecoughtan that time scored 3 runs, but they only had 1 hit. They had 1 hit, and they had 1, 2, 3, 4 walks and 2 errors. They had 1 run scored on an error and a stolen base. So that, you know, especially in softball, when the base paths are so close together, you make the slightest error, and these girls are going to take advantage of it and score on you.
Yeah, that's true, and that's what hurt Bethel the first time they played this team, was the errors.
So there's only 2 hits so far for Kecoughtan, but they've got 4 runs. So leading off to start the bottom half of the second inning will be Kim Bell, who is the right fielder, number 15. Bob, I want to, on the air, thank you for assembling all this information that you've chased down here over the last couple of days.
Well, all I did was make the contact with the coaches and talk to them a couple of days, and both Coach Estep and McDonald both were more than helpful getting me this information. But I know with your tough schedule and as hard as the daily press works you, I know that you need it, and they pay you extra, right?
I'm supposed to laugh.
Right. But, you know, I know that when you come here, you don't have time to gather all this information, and it's glad that I have the time to do it.
We always have that good working tandem. And, of course, our crew out here, I think I saw Sammy Jr. out there on top of the van.
Well, he's they got him out. I'm trying to hope one of the girls will hit it out there to him, see if he can catch it. Well, I might knock him off the truck, I don't know.
Weather's just a little different than it was for that soccer game we covered last week.
That's the truth.
Right nippy, as our camera people had to haul out the long johns. Thought it was football weather.
Well, that wasn't the real key. Was when Dr. Sam still got on the camera and put a blanket over his head. I thought it was Hiawatha.
So for the Bruins here in the bottom of the second, they all have Kim Bell, Michelle Gardner, and Julie Hunt due up. Carrie Price, who got herself out of a big jam in the first inning, delivers the first pitch, and it's a strike call. 0-1 to Kim Bell.
Well, she's just a sophomore, but this is just her first year playing.
And she swings through for strike 2.
A little late on that thing. It was a nice pitch, but just a little late coming through.
She fouls it off out of play on the right side. Gonna keep the fans loose over there behind the fence.
It really will.
So Kim Bell falls behind in the count. balls and 2 strikes to Bell. Leadoff batter here in the bottom of the second. Low ball 1. She dribbles it to the pitcher. Good play, but she can't get her. She wouldn't have gotten her even if the throw had been on target.
Well, that was the only play. She picked up with her left hand and was able to pivot. I don't know if the third baseman might not have had a better throw angle at that, but that's one of those that if you're close, you got to go get it. But that's got to go down as a hit.
Well, it will, at least unofficially, as far as we're concerned. Here you see the replay of it. She just nubbed the ball down the third baseline, and a good hustle. There you see Carey Price coming over there along with the third baseman. Price, being left-handed, was able to pivot and throw towards first, but her throw drew the first baseman off the bag, and she was safe, and we're going to give her a single unofficially. First pitch to the catcher, Michelle Gardner, is a strike called on the outside corner. Foul down the third baseline.
Michelle is a junior, and she's been playing 2 years for the Bruins. And she's going to go down and talk to Coach Eastep, find out what the signal is here. Are we going to bunt? What am I supposed to do here? Maybe he's going to do a hit and run. He's got all kinds of possible situations. Kecoughtan, you was talking about 9-1. The only game they lost was to Phoebus. And I believe that Coach McDonald told me they had about 8 errors in that game against Phoebus, and they lost that one 10-0.
Wow. It's hard to believe this Kecoughtan team was shut out like that. Swinging at a bad pitch was Michelle Gardner, and she goes down swinging.
Well, we saw the young lady pitch for Phoebus last year as a freshman. We were really impressed with her. Can't remember her name right offhand, but if she was good last year as a freshman. So I imagine she's improved a wee bit just in strength and control over a year.
Leadoff batter steps in, Kirsten McVicker. She flied out to right field the first time up, and she takes strike 1. Quick throw down to first, and back easily is Kim Bell.
Kirsten is a shortstop. She's been playing at Bethel for 4 years. She was all district left fielder last year. I'm sorry, as a 9th grader, and second team as a 10th grader at third base. And she's going to college to play football. I'm sorry, to play softball at Gardner-Webb. Oh, nice bunt. Just pulled it a little bit, got a foul.
So Kirsten falls behind on the count now, 0-2. 1 away. Bottom of the second inning. Our score 4-1. Kecoughtan on top. They had 1 run in the first, 3 in the second. The Bruins had 1 in the first, and they've got 1 on and 1 out here in the bottom of the second. Just joined us. I'm Tim Cole with Bob Hintz. We are here at Forest Elementary off of Todd's Lane in Hampton.
I got a guy climbing up on the side of me over here. I thought I was going to get mugged there for a minute.
Don't worry, that's just Dr. Sam. No balls, 2 strikes on the batter, Kirsten McVicker. 0 for 1 on the afternoon. Squares around, lays the bunt down. The pitcher, Price, mishandles the ball and just gets her at first, and McVicker can't believe that call.
Well, I'd like to see that on instant replay. That looked like a good play to me. Looked like she was safe.
Well, that's one of those things that is not debatable.
Joe's got it. Let's watch that thing. Larry Eastep is really upset, but it was an excellent bunt. She lays the ball down real nice and takes off. And you talked about Carey mishandled the ball the first time,
I don't believe that's going to be conclusive at all.
Oh, yeah, the runner is past the base by the time the ball gets there.
Is there a reason why I've been handed this microphone? Or? No, I'm serious. Would you ask Dr. Sam? Want to hear me in stereo?
Why not? He might have been just checking to see if the TV was on.
I don't know. It's on now. Well, Pat didn't like the call.
I lost you.
Maybe that's the problem.
There you go.
Didn't like the call, but that's the way it goes. As you've said many times, Bob, the umpire's call is going to make half the people happy and half the people unhappy. And this time it definitely displeased the homestanding Bethel Bruins.
You got Tim's mic on?
1 ball, no strikes to the batter, and she is Jennifer Hubble.
He's not working. He's not working well.
Oh, I can't do.
He's got too much fun with it.
Okay. We're going back to the old handheld operation here, I guess, Bob.
Can you hear yourself?
Yeah.
Oh, I hear you fine. I could hear you before.
Well, we apologize to those of you at home. We appear to be having some difficulty with our audio, but hopefully this new system here we have will clear it up. At any rate, Kim Bell is on third base as the pitch is a strike called. And the batter is Jennifer Hubble as there are 2 away.
She is one of the other captains on this Bruin team.
Ball high to Jennifer.
She has been playing second base for the Bruins for 4 years. This is her 4th year as a starter, and she plans to go to college when she graduates this year.
Count is 3-1 on Jennifer Hubble. Hit up the middle to the second baseman. She throws over to first for the out. So 4-3 to end the inning.
Larry Eastup doesn't look too happy. That call at first. And Tim, if you could see that the nice bunt that is laid down, but the pitcher Carey Price mishandled it. This is the play before that. I'm sorry, that was the last out.
Yeah, that's the last out because that was, our shot on the replay of that one was from, I believe, it was from our left field bleacher shot. So it just really wasn't. It appeared that she might have gotten safe, but let's give the benefit of the doubt to the umpire. He was in better position than anyone. And I've umpired, and I've said this before. That's the toughest play. That boom call there at first base is just so hard.
There's a good shot of Slow-Mo Joe. They got him behind the cage. I wonder if him behind that fence has anything to do with protection.
Keep the crowd away from him. So we move to the 3rd inning. Our score is 4-1 in favor of the Kecoughtan Warriors. Continuing to pitch will be Heather Anderson. She relieved Julie Hunt. The Warriors will have at the plate here in the 3rd inning. Carrie Price will lead off. She's the pitcher. She'll be followed by Blake Roughton and the catcher Julie Thompson. Price, the left-hander, steps in. And Anderson's pitch is way outside, ball 1. Top of the 3rd. Kecoughtan at bat, leading 4-1. And a strike call up around the shoulder.
That was right down the tube, wasn't it?
A little high, though. Gotta be careful, the umpire can hear me. Whoa, that one was way high. As Heather is having a bit of a problem finding the strike zone. Count is 2 balls and a strike. And this one's high for ball 3. We'll watch that one more time, that close play at first base. Let's see if we have this. I don't think you can see it much better. You saw the pitcher mishandle the ball momentarily.
But the runner is past the bag by the time the ball gets there. I can see that on the, and on, it's just unbelievable. Well, Carrie Price gets a walk. Tim, she has 16 stolen bases so far this year. So we can look for her to go at the first opportunity.
The batter is Blake Roughton, the right fielder. She got on base in the second inning on a walk, and she scored. First pitch is high outside for a ball. And this one's inside for a ball, and taking second.
I want to throw a trivia question at you, Tim. Blake and Amber Roughton are sisters, and they're both on an Olympic team. They're both on an Olympic team. I want you to guess which Olympic team they're on.
Well, let me think here. They're on an Olympic team? They're on an Olympic team?
They are Olympic class roller skaters, both of them.
Oh, that's really interesting. Does that mean they've been on the Olympic team before, or that means they're good enough to be on the Olympic team?
Well, they went out to Aspen, Colorado and worked out, so evidently they're on the team.
I guess they're good enough, huh? Yeah, strike call, so our umpire likes those high strikes. And Blake steps out and then comes back in. Runner at third. Nobody out here in the top of the third. And strike 2 call. So the count runs full. 3-2. Nobody out. Runner on third. Carrie Price, she walked, stole second and third. And on the inside corner, the strikeout recorded by Anderson. As Blake Roughton says, not in this life.
She wasn't real happy with that call.
Pretty good pitch. Anderson's got a wicked curve on that pitch.
Well, they caught the outside corner, or the inside corner. I'm sorry.
Julie Thompson, the batter, takes ball 1. Judy also reached on a walk in the second inning, and she also scored as a result of that big second inning. And Anderson throws this one behind Thompson. Thompson says, wait a minute.
That'll keep you on your toes.
That'll keep you real loose.
Well, she was the best offensive player for the Warriors last year and made second team all-district as a catcher.
2-0 the count to Thompson. And a run now, the count runs to 3-0. As again, Anderson has trouble finding the strike zone. Runner at third, 1 out. 4-1 Kecoughtan. And low, ball 4. And Gardner loses sight of the ball momentarily. And she gets it back, but then the runner is just going to slide on down to second as Thompson very alertly.
Well, that was very heads-up base running by Julie Thompson.
She just saw the ball was not back into that circled area that you see around the pitcher. If that ball is in her hands and she's in that area, I guess you can't steal. Maybe you can.
You can if the pitcher doesn't have the ball.
Anderson pitches, and it's a foul tip. The batter is Amy O'Brien. She struck out in the second inning.
She was also on a basketball team and is a 9th grade cheerleader also this year. This past year, she's 2 years ago, she's an 11th grader.
Behind O'Brien, and Price is going to come in from third, and she is safe. So Carrie Price shows heads up running. And she scores to make it 5-1. I'll tell you, her speed is deceptive.
It really is. I told you before she had stolen 16 bases. Well, add at least 2 to that, if not 3.
She's had a career this afternoon. Pitch is still outside, so Anderson continues her control problems.
Well, this is what hurts you in softball or baseball, especially at the high school level. You got to have a pitcher and get the ball consistently across the plate.
Foul tip. Strike 2. So the count is 2-2 to O'Brien. Runner at third base. 1 out, 1 run in. And Anderson pitches a beautiful pitch on the outside corner, recording her second strikeout of the inning. So that's the second time O'Brien has gone down striking out. And Dorothy Jones steps in. She had a single in the second inning. Had 2 RBIs in the second. As she advanced all the way to third and died there.
She made good contact with the ball last time she was up, as you alluded to.
Yeah, she got that nice big one across the plate. Thompson's at third. 2 outs. And this one's on the outside corner. 1-1 the count. Same pitch, this time it's a ball. 3-1, check that, not 2-1, but 3-1 rather. 1 run in here in the third. Jones hits it to the second baseman right between her legs as she just didn't watch the ball into her glove.
And that's so embarrassing because that's the easy ones. Now, you turn around and make a super play on a hard hit ball, and the easy ones you let get through, and that hurts you because it's an error, and it does bring in a run, which it could have been an out.
So instead of the third out, the error gives the Warriors the run, and Jones reaches first on the error. We don't want to belabor the point on this young lady, but that's a perfect example of every little leaguer and every big leaguer, for that matter, not watching the ball into your glove. Happens to the best of everybody. You know, you watch that, you think, my son plays baseball, as we've talked before, and he gets so upset when he misses a ball like that. And luckily, the next night, we'll watch a Major League Baseball game, and a guy who makes $2 million a year will make the same play.
Make the same play.
It's just one of those things, a momentary lack of concentration. 3-0 as the count now continues to run high. Jones is on first base. The batter is Jacobs, and she takes a call, strike 1. But Rochelle Jacobs, who lined out to the shortstop and grounded out to the third baseman in the second inning. 0 for 2 on the afternoon, looking for her first hit. And she pops it up to left field. It's a run to the ball by the shortstop, an excellent hustle. The ball is just
she slid almost into the fence, but you're right. What a nice hustle by the shortstop for the Bruins. And that is Kirsten McVicker.
Yeah, you know, she's the girl who wants to go to college on her softball playing, and that kind of hustle will get a lot of notice. Ball is high, ball 4, and Jacobs will go down to first base.
You see the foul, and watch this hustle by McVicker. Boy, she does a great job of trying to get to the ball. And you can see it was an all-out. That was an all-out effort, Tim.
Sure was.
Thank you, Dr. Sam.
Must have known I was thirsty. Thank you, sir. Amber Routon steps in.
Well, that sure hit the spot, Dr. Sam.
Ball gets away from the catcher, and the runners advance. So that error on the second baseman starts to really loom large here. As 1 run scored, and now there are runners in scoring position. And Anderson still having trouble with the control.
She's got a lot of stuff on that ball. If she can get it across the plate, her problem seems to be control. Now, if you don't want me to have a drink, Doctor. Well, that's what I get for putting it out of the way.
You lost a drink that you were savoring, huh?
It's all right, I got my eye on yours.
Someone ought to keep an eye on it. Runners at second and third. 2 away. The count is 3-1 to the batter, Amber Rowden. She has walked and gotten on him with a single. This is a second opportunity now, and that should be safe. It is. And 2 runs will score, as while the Bruins are complaining about the call, which was a good call. Let's make sure we recognize that one as that was an excellent call.
It really was. The second baseman for the Bruins just seemed to relax Jennifer Hubble and just, took too much time.
What we saw was a good hustle on the part of Amber Rowden. Excuse me, Rochelle. Amber Rowden. Yeah. Strike called.
And there's another stolen base by Amber. She has 13 coming in here. And that's I don't know if she got any the first couple times she was on or not, but that's number 14 at least.
So 2 runs scored on that play. This one's fouled down the third baseline. The batter is number 14, Missy Clark. So the error, again, the second error of the inning on Hubble. She just took too much time getting that ball. The ball was not hit particularly hard.
Well, and not only that, but she kind of threw it as a soft throw, Tim, or just kind of a loop throw. There's another stolen base by Amber.
Tell you what impresses me about this Kecoughtan team is they're very opportunistic. They do not sit back and wait on you. They are ready to jump at every minute. Let's see if I can get some more ice from Dr. Sam.
That's right. Someone here on the floor. Thank you, sir.
More ice in there.
Missy Clark, the batter. And this one's called a ball, as now Rowden is on third. So that crucial error between the legs error there on Hubble led to 3 runs. It should be 2 runs and potentially a third here. So anytime you prolong the inning, that's going to come back to haunt you. And this one's called a ball, a little high, and Anderson doesn't like the call as the count goes full now. Sir?
Ron, you need a soda up there?
Dead away center.
Now we're back here at Forest Elementary. There you see the crowd on hand as unfortunately we had a malfunction, or at least we ran out of tape just here. We got the replay for you. There we go. The final out of that inning, Missy Clark popped it up to the center fielder.
Who? Okay.
And
we got a switch here. Jamie Pardue is coming in for Jones for the Warriors. That's Dorothy Jones. So Jamie, who is normally a starter and playing left field, gave way to Jones starting today. And Jamie is out there in left field, number 16. She's just a junior. We remember her from the basketball, Tim.
Yep, sure do. So the Warriors pick up 3 more runs in that inning, and now they lead 7-1. And again, the walks and the errors really hurt, as there were no hits recorded during that inning by Kecoughtan. They've got 2 hits and 7 runs.
Well, and quite a few of those runs came off of because of that error. Those are unearned runs, and that really hurts your team.
Well, we don't want to belabor the point. You know, as I said, the play is one of those things that can just happen to anybody. But it was a crucial error. There's no question about it. You see the crowd on both sides here.
And we've got a nice little crowd here today.
Sun-drenched, as the saying goes.
Jill Dombrowski is going to be the leadoff. She's played basketball, been on the tennis team. She's in the Kecoughtan. And we play on softball for 6 years within Northampton Little League. And was also on the swimming team as a freshman.
Didn't you mention she is, in fact, just a freshman?
No, she's a 10th grader.
10th grader, okay.
That's a sophomore.
So Jennifer, rather. I'll get it right. Yeah, Jill. I had it right the first time. Jill steps in. She is 1 for 2. Check that, 1 for 1. She had a double. It's her second time up. She takes a strike. One and one, the count. And she drives it down. Good play by the third baseman to get her easily.
Oh, what a nice play for Roughton down there at third base. Amber just did a super job. She has a 941 fielding average, and that's not bad playing at third base. You know that's you're going to get a lot of hot shots down there.
Here's the replay. Good swing as the ball was hit sharply, but it was fielded perfectly as the first pitch now to the second batter of the inning. Johnson is outside for a ball. Nakia Johnson, who also had a hit in the first inning. Got a single. She is the designated hitter. And she pops it up. Catcher has a beat on it, but can't get to it. Ball kind of fooled her at the last second there. So Johnson gets a break, as that was almost an easy pop-up to the catcher. She laughs it off with the battery made out there, Price, as Julie Thompson is the catcher, and took that in good stride, I might add. Unlike myself, I probably would have had a tantrum for about an inning or two. Johnson hits it up the middle, and just almost making the catch was the center fielder. Johnson will reach first. That ball was playable. Actually hit the center fielder in the leg.
It was just a little too low for her. She made a valiant effort for it. The center fielder being, for the Kecoughtan Warriors, that's Rochelle Jacobs. She's one of the captains. But that was just a little bit low for her. She did get a piece of the glove on it, but held it just to a single.
So Amy Anthony now walked in the first inning, comes up here, her second time up. Here you go, your replay. There you see Johnson getting good wood on the ball.
Just off of a good heads up. Always kept the ball in front of her.
Price delivers strike.
Well, she uses those corners well, doesn't she, Tim?
Yeah, she's got real good control, and she's.
Same place, Amy.
I see your dirty pants, Tim.
Well, I tell you, you taking anything to the cleaners lately? You go to the cleaners, you are taken to the cleaners. I wonder if I can get Channel 29 to pay for those. Those weren't like that when I stepped up here.
You gotta show Sam where you got those.
Well, I guess I'm going to have these run through the mill. No. Johnson trying to steal second. She's in safely.
Nice steal.
So Johnson moves down to second on a good hustle. 2-2 is the count to the batter. That's Amy Anthony, the first baseman. One away here in the third inning. Bethel with 1 run on 3 hits. Kecoughtan 7 runs on 2 hits.
Amy's been playing ball for 7 years in the Northampton League, and this is second year with Bethel. Nice hit right over the top of the second baseman. And she made it to second on the throw.
Yeah, she's going to reach second. Amy Anthony does. Actually on the no throw, but she went down. She should have been held to a single, but the errant throw allowed her to get to second.
Well, the first time these teams met, Kecoughtan won 14-6, so Bethel can score some runs.
So runners at second and third. Nobody asked you to check that one out here in the third inning. Jennifer Hughes is the batter. She takes strike 1.
Watch the replay on this. That's a nice hit, but the throw was way over the intended cutoff man's head.
This one has hit the left field, and a good play by the left fielder looking into the sun, tagging up and scoring is Johnson.
Good heads-up base running by Johnson. That's a sacrifice.
Tell Lisa that her legs are exposed to the crowd.
We got somebody standing on that, laying down on that truck out there in center field, sunbathing.
That is,
you know, that's Lisa. Tell her she better be careful. Sammy can't keep his eyes on the camera there.
Victoria Wagaman steps in with 2 outs here in the third inning. Runner at third base, 1 run in.
Show your small boy that jump.
2 away. All low. 2-0 the count. 2 away, bottom of the third, 7-2. Kecoughtan leading. Bottom half of the third. Tim Cole with Bob Hitz here at Forest Elementary. All high, 3-0.
Hey, Scotty, is Hooker's camera any better? I tried to tighten it up a bit to see if it's still breaking up.
And a strike call around the letters.
Well, you can hear the the crowd over on this side is partial to the Bruins. They didn't like that call.
Kind of an ugly crowd.
Led by Roy Heath, our buddy.
And that one is low for ball 4. Yeah, our umpire here likes those high strikes. So we got runners at first and third, 2 down. And the batter will be number 15, Kim Bell. Kim had a single in the second inning.
This is Kim's first year playing organized softball.
All outside, and the runner goes down to second and stealing home on the plate.
Okay, that was a good throw. It just wasn't fielded properly, but it was a throw. I might question, I don't know. You got a runner on third, you kind of let that base runner get down to second, don't you, Tim?
Normally you do. I don't know whether she just forgot there was a runner on third, but it was a good heads-up play on Bethel's part to force that throw. And it was a good throw. I mean, it was not a bad throw by Thompson, the catcher.
No, it was an excellent throw.
But it just got by the player covering second, and scoring on that play was Amy Anthony. Now moving over to third will be Wagaman, so she's now in scoring position. 2 outs and a mini rally here for the Bruins as they've got 2 runs across here in the third. Kim Bell looking down question as to whether time had been called, but apparently there is time called.
Well, that's the second time this time out that the umpire had to sweep off the base.
It's 2 balls and no strike. The count to the batter, and she is Kim Bell. Wagaman is at third. And it's a strike call.
Oh, that was right down the gut.
3-1. She squares around, faking the bunt. 2-1. I was thinking it is now 3-1. As I mentioned before, the area behind the catcher here is only about 8 feet to the fence, so unless you catch the catcher napping, it's tough to score on a loose ball. This one outside, ball 4, so Kim Bell will in fact make it down to first base, so it'll be runners at the corners again.
Well, that bring up the catcher. She's taking off her gear. She was on deck.
I have a feeling that Larry Estep is going to pinch hit for her. Well, no, I guess she's going to, okay, she's going to come in. So she had the gear on just in case that was a third out. So Michelle Gardner, who struck out in the second, will come in with runners at first and third. And she looks down to Estep for the signals. She's got them. She steps in. 2 runs in. And Gardner making no pretense about it. She squares around to bunt. And then she pulls it back. And again, almost got that run. Oh, they say they got her. Oh, my gracious.
I don't know about that. She looked like to me that he missed a tag.
Now the umpire is going to converse with the plate umpire. And it would serve good justice to redo that one.
Yeah, she missed a tag. She tagged between her legs.
That's the second real
now watch the replay.
Well, that won't do any good. They will not rescind the call based on the replay, but just to me and to the replay, it certainly did appear that was a bad call. So the play stands, much to the dismay of a lot of people around here, and I got to admit, I'm one of them. I think that was a bad call, but then, half the time I think it's a bad call. So.
Well, I don't know. I'm speechless, and I usually don't have.
That's the tough call. I mean, the umpire is right there.
Well, I was watching the play. She took the glove and reached out to tag the base runner and missed her.
The crowd is getting restless now. I'm going to watch this again. I don't know if it's going to show you anything or not.
She reaches for her, but touching the base does no good. You have to touch the runner. That's not a forced play. That's Sylvia Ottaway. How you doing, Sylvia? Good to see you. One of the teachers at Bethel High School.
You want to keep your social activities to a minimum here?
Well, if I was down on the ground level, I'd have got a hug, Tim.
Well, I guess you did keep it to a minimum then.
I shook hands.
There you go. So, a disputed ending to the third inning for the Bruins.
Well, there have been 2 close calls, and I have to disagree with both of them.
2 runs do end up scoring for the Bruins, and so they've now got 3 runs, while Kecoughtan has 7, and we've completed 3 innings. Top of the 4th, we'll find Emily Belbin leading off for the Warriors. She'll be followed by Carrie Price and Blake Roughton. Heather Anderson continues to pitch for the Bruins. She came in replacing the original pitcher for Bethel. That was Julie Hunt. Hunt left in the second inning. Anderson's first pitch is a ball. And the second one is a strike, so we are even at 1.
Catch that one, Tim. Did you catch that one?
I got it. 2 balls and a strike to Belbin. She has flied out to short and flied out to second.
We remember her from playing basketball this year. She's a first-year starter as a 9th grader for this Warrior team.
Shortstop bobbles the ball, McVicker, and safe at first on, I guess, well, I don't know whether to call that an error or a hit, Bob.
Well, I think you should have called it an error. That was definitely a playable ball. She just lost a handle on it.
Yeah, in all honesty, I really have to give her the big E on that one. Get a chance to watch this again. Belbin didn't bend much of the knees, but hit the ball pretty well at the shortstop. There you see the shortstop just mishandle the ball twice. Belbin gets back to second.
Well, that was a smart play. She got hung up between second and third, thinking she was going to get an extra base on the overthrow, but it was a great play by the center fielder for the Bruins, Jennifer Hughes. Made a nice throw to the third baseman.
Count is at 1-1.
Maybe rod on us off with a wide shot to go in, get the hole out there.
2 balls and a strike. Batter is Carrie Price, the pitcher. Reached on an error to the right fielder and eventually scored, and then she walked and eventually scored. So Price has done some great base running this afternoon, helping her team with 2 runs through her running abilities. And the throw from the catcher goes into left field. Then the return throw, and she got her.
If she'd have slid, she would have got her.
So the count is 3-1. We'll see this one again. Watch Belbin as the ball gets by. It goes all the way into left field, and then a throw home. A great throw by the left fielder. And she just put the tag on her, garnered it. Now Carrie Price belts the ball into left field.
Well, that would have scored her, so that stealing home cost him a run. But Carrie Price does a good job, Tim. As a 4th-year starter at 87, she was an all-district outfielder, 88 a second all-district shortstop, 89 second-team utility player, and this year she's a pitcher. She does everything.
So Carrie, who has already exhibited her running abilities, is on first with 1 out. And the batter is Blake Roughton, the right fielder. First pitch, a ball. Throw down to the second baseman. I should say the shortstop covering is too late. And Price has stolen second base. I have a feeling we might very easily see her try to steal third. She has no respect for the throwing abilities of the catcher. Strike called. Emily Roughton has reached on a walk and struck out. 1-1 the count. Foul ball, strike 2.
That was a little inside, but she thought she could handle it. She is a senior, and next year she's going to be in the NASA co-op program.
Hit right back to the pitcher off her glove. Fielded by the second baseman. Her throw is wild. And Price is going to come home, and she will score. So Carrie Price has scored 3 times on just 1 hit in this ball game.
When she gets on base, she's going to make it home.
That was only the 3rd hit for Kecoughtan. check that, 4th hit. 2 in the inning. And a good throw down to second, and she got her.
That was a nice throw.
Excellent throw as the catcher. Threw to the second baseman covering for the out. Here you see the RBI, the play moments ago. So 2 outs, and that's twice in this inning that we've had a good throw. The left fielder threw to the catcher for 1 out, and now the catcher throws out route and trying to steal second. Julie Thompson, the catcher, steps in.
Let me tell you a little something about this Julie Thompson. Now, here's a young lady as a catcher, which means she probably gets her fingers beat up a little bit. Tim, she also plays the violin. And she's going to Brigham Young University next year, graduating with honors.
2 balls and 1 strike to count to Thompson. Thompson has reached twice on bases on balls. Officially, she is at bat for the first time. She hits this one to the shortstop, and McVicker throws her out.
McVicker's got a nice arm, Tim, that shortstop.
So 4 up and 3 down, as Price, who is dangerous on those base paths, got on with a single and went around on some stolen bases and some misplays and scored the only run. There you see the replay of the final out of the inning.
Look at this nice play by the shortstop. Stayed down on the ball and a nice arm, nice throw. Well, Kecoughtan is 9-1. Let me run over what they've done so far this year. They opened up the season with an 18-2 win over Bruton High, and then beat this Bethel team 14-6. Beat Denby 15-5. Then lost that game to Phoebus 10-0. Rebounded, beating Lafayette 13-6. A close win over Mitchville 5-4. Another close win over Hampton 12-10. Then stomped Ferguson 16-1 and just ran all over Warwick 38-6. And then beat Gloucester 11-1.
That has some kind of 10-run rule in that 38-6.
Wow, that's ridiculous.
I understand Carrie Price, our pitcher, is the pitcher who has pitched every game.
Yes, she has. She's has a 9-1.
Well, her team has certainly done well behind her, scoring 18, 14, 15, 13, 12, 16, 11, and 38 runs. So, I'm not taking anything away from her pitching abilities, but it's nice when your team is averaging well over 12 runs a game.
Well, what also makes it nice, Tim, is you know that your team is going to come up with some runs. So, if you give up a couple, 3 runs during the course of a ball game, you don't panic, because your team is going to get the runs, and she knows when she gets on base, she's going to score. 3 times on base and 3 scores today.
So Michelle Gardner will step back in for the Bruins. She was at bat when the final out was recorded on the throw from left field to home, tagging the runner out. So Gardner, who struck out her first time up, leads off here in the the bottom half of the 4th inning. They played 7 innings.
This is the bottom of the 4th, if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct.
7 innings is softball.
And usually the team that wears the white jerseys are the visitors. In this case, excuse me, the white jerseys are the home team, and in this case they are the visitors, interestingly.
Well, it's the lighter color, and the Bruins' lighter color is their gold. Their green is their dark color.
That's
so
right.
They are wearing their home uniforms.
So Michelle Gardner steps in, and she had a good inning last inning, throwing 2 runners out. She squares around, faking the bunt, and it's ball 1.
She's just trying to upset the pitcher's rhythm a little bit. make her worry about the bunt and fielding.
And she takes ball 2. It always unnerved me when I pitched to have a batter square around before I was even ready to throw. It was like, hey, don't do that.
Alan, that's telling you that, hey, we don't care what you pitch, we're going to bunt it. Yeah, you're right. It does play on your mind a little bit.
So Price, being the good pitcher she is, comes in with that first strike call. So it's 2-1. And this one is hit by Gardner into right field and caught by the right fielder. So a good play by Roughton out there in right field.
Well, that was a nice hit by Price, but an exceptional catch by the right fielder, Blake Roughton. She got over there and made a nice catch on that ball.
Gardner got good wood on the ball, but it was right to her. There you see, she had a good swing. Roughton was right there to make the out. It brings up the leadoff batter, Kirsten McVicker. McVicker made a nice play to end the last inning on a play from short to first. 0-1 the count on Kirsten. She is 0 for 2 so far in the ball. Oh my gracious. Ball appeared to be about 6 inches outside.
Well, Kirsten was all district left fielder as a 9th grader, second team as a 10th grader, and second team third base as 11th grader. And she's the one that's planning on going to Gardner-Webb next year.
Fouled away.
But she has played in different positions on this team, so she is a utility player.
Kirsten flying out to right field and grounded out from the pitcher to the first baseman in the second inning. She's 0 for 2. 1-2 the count. This one's in the dirt, ball 2. This one's high inside, ball 3. So McVicker now has the, I checked that 2-2. I thought it was ball 3.
I did too.
I lost one somewhere.
I lost something.
This one is hit just over the, that should be a fair ball. It is. That's a fair ball, and she will get on with the error and more or less have to charge an error to the first baseman on that play.
Well, not only that, but the base umpire reached down and grabbed the ball. He hasn't impressed me too much today.
No, I can't say that I'm totally impressed. Here you watch the replay. The first baseman is going to touch this ball standing in fair territory. Even the ball glancing off of her glove and going out of bounds or outside of the baseline does not matter. She touched that ball in fair play. That ball is live.
It sure was. Had she not touched the ball, let it hit, it would have been a foul ball.
But our base umpire has made several very unique
I like your analogy, unique calls.
That leaves you up for your imagination on what I mean by that. Outside, the pitch to Jennifer Hubble, second baseman. Reached on a base on balls, and then she grounded out second to first.
Excuse me, Tim. She's been playing second base for 4 years for the Bruins.
I don't know her statistics, but I would imagine that her error in that inning was, or 2 errors in that inning were very uncharacteristic of her.
Oh, I believe so too.
You know, you have those days. 1-1 the count to Jennifer Hubble.
Well, she's also a member of the Kietz and the yearbook staff, so she does a lot of other things rather than just play softball.
Runner on first, nobody out. This one is in the dirt, and McVicker will go down to second easily.
She had a good jump on that ball.
I think I said there was nobody out. There is, in fact, 1 out, as Michelle Gardner did fly out to right field to open the inning.
Well, Julie Thompson did a good job of blocking the ball and keeping it in front of her, but the base runner was, well, she was moving down the base pass. Very heads-up base running by that's McVicker.
Yeah. 1 away, runner on second. 2 balls and a strike to Hubble, and a strike 2 called.
You think the batters would wise up after a while, Tim. The balls that are up across the base, the plate that are up high are called strikes.
Well, you know, you and I have talked about officiating from football to basketball to soccer to softball now. And the thing you look for is consistency, and this umpire has consistently called the high strike. So good effort by the shortstop there, but that ball I think would go in for a hit, as that was a tough play in any event.
It sure was. That was Missy Clark. She kept the ball in front of her, which is what you want to do. Don't let it get to the outfield. And by doing that, she made Kirsten McVicker stay at second base and not be able to advance on that hit.
Here you see the replay. Hubble will get a good swing of the ball, and well, actually, she should have had that ball. I'm most generous in giving a base hit on that. That ball fielded cleanly. I think she might have gotten her.
Well, moving to the left moving to the right is what she was doing, and she was probably thinking about the long throw she was going to have to make.
So I will generously give Jennifer a hit on that, unofficially, obviously. And now advancing on the wild pitch. Both the runners move up to second and third and into scoring position. So Jill Deskowski, who had a double in the first and grounded out third to first in the third inning, has runners in scoring position now with one out. And Jill lets this one go by in the dirt.
Well, Jill has played basketball and tennis for Bethel. She's also in the Keats and has been playing 6 years softball, most of it in the Northampton Little League. She's just 15 years old and a co-captain of this Bruin team.
And another one of those high strikes. This one not as high as some I've seen called this afternoon. 2 balls and 1 strike. And we got a timeout momentarily as there's a ball in the field. So we'll recap for you now. Our score is 8-3 in favor of the Kecoughtan Warriors. We're in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Runners at second and third, 1 out. And the batter is Jill Deskowski. Pitch way outside for ball 3. Runners did not even attempt to move up.
Left field of the ball over here.
They got somebody playing catch down there along the left field, and they're not catching the ball. Somebody's throwing it, but nobody's catching it. It ends up on our playing field, and alertly the official calls timeout. 3-1.
1 away. First base is open. Julie Thompson reminding her teammates now where the play is and how many outs there are. There's been a fair number of delays here. Now the batter steps out. So we're having a little bit of a mind game here between the batter and the fielders. Carey Price delivers, and it's a hit to left field. This will score 1 run and very likely 2. In fact, it'll score 2 easily. And winding up with her second double of the game is Jill Deskowski.
Well, that was an excellent hit right into the gap in left center.
Two RBIs for Jill.
And that brings up the DH for the Bruins, number 4. And Nikita
Johnson. And
watch this throw. Nice cut with the ball. And it just went right into the gap. And then the center fielder tried to pick the ball up with the glove twice, which she should have reached down and picked it up with her hand.
Price throws it wildly outside. And wisely, Deskowski holds up as the Score now is 8-5, and Larry Estep doesn't want someone to get out trying to steal third. You need some more runs. You got a good batter at the plate. 1 ball, no strikes. 1 out. High pitch is swung at and fouled back. Runs count to 1-1. Larry looks down at Nakia and says, "Hey, Nakia, that one was over your head."
Yeah, that would have been a ball.
Those high pitches are so hard to lay off.
Well, and also if you know that the umpire's calling those a strike, you feel almost obligated to swing.
Yep, I know the feeling. Hit down the third baseline. It's a foul ball. Foul ball. Everything is back to normal here. There's no runners moving or anything here. All the runners and the players doing what they're supposed to do. They played the ball as if it was fair, but in fact a foul ball.
Well, they still weren't sure that it wasn't. Nikita Johnson says, "I'm going to stand first until they tell me I got to come back."
I don't blame her. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Johnson. 1 out. Runner on second, 2 runs in. Johnson hits it up the middle. Fielded by the shortstop, and she is safe at first. So good hustle by Nakia Johnson. Gets her 3rd base hit of the ball game.
And she got that because she is fleet of foot. But she just beat that out for a base hit.
Daskowski advances to 3rd on the play. We'll see this one again. Good camera work, guys. Good work, slow-mo.
But you can see it was fielded cleanly.
Yep.
But she has really got some speed.
That was an excellent job on her part of hustle. That goes to prove every time. It looks like it's going to be an easy play, but you run them out. That was a perfect example of how you get hits. 3 for 3 for Johnson. This one is high. Nakia will go down to second, or at least they fake her. Now they've got Daskowski hung up, and Daskowski is going to run and score as the ball was bobbled by the 3rd baseman.
Well, that was a nice play by the Warriors.
Good,
but Amber Road just lost a handle on the ball.
Good fake by the catcher, Thompson. She faked the throw to second when she saw Johnson going down, and that drew the runner on 3rd, Daskowski, in off the bag, and she was hung up. And a good play would have gotten her, but the ball bobbled by the 3rd baseman, and Daskowski wisely saw that and headed for home and scored easily. Now Johnson advancing to 2nd on the play. So the Bruins have this rally still alive. There's only 1 out, runner on 2nd, and 3 runs are in. Price is not having a great inning, but her team isn't backing her up too well right now.
No, that is what's hurting her right now. She's not, has not been an overpowering pitcher all day anyway, but some inopportune throws and some nice placed hits by the Bruins have brought them back into this ball game.
Ball 2. Batter is Amy Anthony. Amy walked in the 1st and had a single in the 3rd and scored. She is 1 for 1. And a strike call.
How many outs we have in this inning so far? Just 1 out.
1 out. Michelle Gardner opened the inning, flying out to right field on a well-hit ball. Then McVicker reached on an error, and then consecutive hits by Hubble, Daskowski, and Johnson. Now Amy Anthony is up there with the count 3-1. Johnson on 2nd base. 8-5 the score. Kecoughtan leading. This one's outside and low, ball 4. And Amy Anthony will trot down to 1st. Jennifer Hughes, the center fielder, will step in. Jennifer is 0 for 1 as she was out 3rd to 1st in the 1st inning, and then she sacrificed in the 3rd. Runners at 1st and 2nd. One away. Another ball in the dirt by Price.
Stay away from here. Let's slow it.
Right down the middle for the call strike. And they've got Johnson hung up at second, and she is, what is she? Safe. And moving down to second on the play is Amy Anthony. So the Bruins get a little bit of a break on their call here as the calls have gone against them to this point. But this time they get the call, and they have runners at second and third. You get a chance to watch this again. So they had her hung up. They had Nakia hung up between second and third. She just put her head down and stormed into third base. There you see, she did beat the tag.
She was definitely in. That was a nice call.
That was a good call.
She went right underneath the tag.
And good camera work by our usual team out here. These guys do a great job, guys and gals. Popped up to the third baseman, and the out is recorded. So the runners hold as Jennifer Hughes pops out to the third baseman for the second out. So Victoria Wagaman now will step in with runners at second and third, 2 away. She flied out in the first inning and reached on a walk in the third. It's 0 for 1. And a strike call on the outside corner. And we got a timeout now.
Well, Larry Estep, the coach of the Bruins, wants to talk to Victoria Wagaman. Now, she's just a sophomore, and she's been playing for Bethel for 2 years, but she also on the basketball team. But this has been quite a nightmarish inning for the Warriors. They have been kind of dominant up to this point. What is the score, Mr. Scorekeeper?
It is 8-5 in favor of the Warriors. 3 runs have scored here in the fourth, 2 in the third for Bethel, and they had 1 run in the first inning. The Warriors are 8 runs on 4 hits. 5 runs so far for Bethel. 2 out here in the fourth. Strike call. So Vicky says, I don't believe it.
Oh, she's 2-0.
No balls, 2 strikes.
Oh, 0-2, I guess is what you say, right?
I think. And this one's in the dirt. Gets away from the catcher, but again, that short backstop here prevents the run coming from third.
Well, you learn to play those balls a little bit. You know which way they're going to bounce, I would imagine, after a while.
1 ball, 2 strikes. In the dirt, 2-2. Good job by Thompson to dig that one out. Two and 2, 2 on, 2 out. Bottom of the fourth. And ball 3 high. So a full count now to Wagaman. She looks down to Larry Estep. He says, hey, you know what to do.
But you're at this point, that ball even close to that plate, you got to swing at it.
And right down the middle is popped up to the first baseman. Wagaman hits it right to first for the easy out.
Well, I know Kecoughtan was wondering if there's ever going to get out of that inning. But they made this game a lot closer.
So they record 3 hits and 1 error, and they get a total of.
This is top of the 5th.
Watch the last out here, and this is the nice shot from our center field camera. Young Sammy on that camera out there on top of the van with Lisa. Right to the first baseman. Good job, cameraman and slow-mo Joe.
Well, I have it now recorded as 6 runs.
Aha, so it's 6-8. It's closer than you thought.
Well, I want to check my math here. Just want to make sure. Just want to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there are 6 runs across for Bethel. And they have 8 runs recorded for Kecoughtan.
Well, I look at 9.
Well, I think this was a mistake over here.
Boyd for Bell. What score do you have? 8-6?
8-6 is the score.
8-6, so you're right. Okay, we got Boyd coming in for the Bruins, playing right field. Coming in for Kim Bell, I believe it is.
Now, what is Boyd's first name? Do you have a name?
Yes, I do.
Stephanie Boyd.
Stephanie. She's just a 9th grader. Well, I tell you, nothing will make your pitcher feel any more confident than you come up with a few runs in an inning, give her a chance to win this ball game. You're only down 2 now.
Stepping up to open the inning here will be Amy O'Brien. She hits it down the right field line, foul. Long strike.
Oh, that would have been foul. That would have been a hard ball to catch.
Amy is 0 for 2, having struck out in the 3rd inning. Let's check that. Yes, she struck out in the 3rd as well as the 2nd.
Amy O'Brien was errorless in the field playing second base through the first 9 games and has stolen 5 of 5 attempts.
And she hits it into right field for, was she out or no? The ball was dropped. So
ball was dropped, but that would have been a close play, but the first base umpire was calling her safe. That was a nice hit, but a beautiful play by the right fielder for the Bruins, who was Kim. I'm sorry, Kim Bell is not there anymore, is she? That's, is that where Stephanie is?
Boyd, huh? Yeah, that was a good play. And you know something? She held on to that ball. I thought she was out. Here's the replay. I'm going to tell you, I think if she had caught that ball, she would have been out. I don't mean the right fielder. I mean the first baseman. Here you see the throw.
She beat the throw, Tim.
It was close.
Yes, it was.
So Amy Perdue steps in. She replaced Dorothy Jones in left field.
And she's normally a starter for the Bruins.
Strike call. O'Brien at first, nobody out. And a swinging strike for Perdue.
Well, she's a 3-year starter for the Bruins, batting .357. On base average is .550, and her fielding average is .600. She's been playing basketball for 3 years, been in the chorus and the Keyettes, and has done a lot of things.
Ooh. And did she hit her? I believe she did. So Amy Perdue will reach base on the hit batter.
But he called a dead ball. The ball definitely hit the batter.
So now runners at first and second. And Rochelle Jacobs steps in. Nobody out. Jacobs is 0 for 2.
This young lady is batting .333, Tim, but she was also elected to the homecoming court. She's graduating with honors and going to Radford University in the fall.
Foul down the third baseline, out of play. Rochelle is 0 for 2 as she lined out to the shortstop in the first inning. She grounded out third to first in the second, walked in the third, and here she comes up 0 for 2 here in the 5th inning.
She had walked 19 times prior to this game.
Foul ball.
And has 21 stolen bases out of 21 attempts this year. And of course, as one of the team captains, the Warriors have tri-captains.
She belted into left field for a hit. Fielded cleanly, and a close play at third, actually. The force play being on, but she was in easily. But good fielding by these outfielders for Bethel have made these plays close.
I'm impressed with them. They're doing a good job. That was Victoria Wagaman out there in left field. Now we got number 20 coming up, Amber Routon.
And I might add that Vicky Wagaman, is looking into a tough sun right now, too. And another one of those high strikes as the bases are loaded for Amber Routon.
Well, Amber's had 5 doubles and a triple this year. She's also a backup pitcher.
Takes ball 1.
But she's batting .412 because she's one of the young ladies you wouldn't mind having a bat in this situation.
She's 1 for 2 in the afternoon as she has walked, singled, and reached on an error, and she swings at strike 2.
And that ball was outside and low and just was fooled by it. And she had a smile on her face, Tim. She knew she'd
get fouled down the third baseline, out of play. This is the hit, by the way. The replay you're watching right now is that hit that was almost a close play at third base, as the runner did get in safely, but it was close. And Routon reaches for a way outside pitch.
She was going for she wanted to get a hit.
That's right.
But you got to take what is given to you, and that was an outside ball. Should never been swung on. Missy Clark comes up.
One away here in the 5th. Bases are still loaded.
Well, Missy's batted .314. She's also a member of the FBLA at Kecoughtan.
I'll bite. What's the FBLA?
Future Business Leaders of America.
All right. I was investigated by them once, I think. Well, that was the FBI.
It started with an F and it had a B in there, right?
It was one of those organizations. Bases loaded, 1 away, and a good pitch hit right to the shortstop, playing in McVicker, but her throw to home is late.
But she bobbled that ball, and that's the reason I would have to say that was an error, because that was a clean hit and just bobbled the fielding. But you're right, they're playing in to cut down that run to score.
So Amy O'Brien scores on the error. Runners advance, and the bases are still loaded. And Emily Belbin steps in.
The highest batting average on this team, .429.
Emily has the highest batting average.
Yes, she does.
She takes strike 1.
She has 72 putouts this year, and she's also a backup pitcher.
She pops this one up out of play.
Nobody on the truck.
Emily is 0 for 3 as she has popped up to the shortstop, popped up to the second baseman, and reached on an error to the shortstop. 0 for 3, and she's behind on the count. And a bad pitch. Michelle Gardner, the catcher, hustles back and gets it. One ball and 2 strikes to Belbin. 1 away here in the top of the 5th inning. She pops it up to third, and Kirsten McVicker makes the play behind the third baseman.
Tim, that's a tough play for a shortstop, but when she turned to catch that ball, that sun was directly in her eyes. That was an excellent play. Now, that was a tough play, and she bobbled that routinely hit ball. That, sometimes it's the easy ones that'll get you in trouble.
So Kirsten McVicker records the 2nd out of the inning.
Here you can see that again. Look at where she goes behind third base to make that catch. Excellent job. Excellent job.
While you were watching that play, a strike was called on the pitcher, batting now, Price. This one just outside, 1-1. Bases loaded, 2 away. Price pops it up Center field, got it.
Oh, that's not a pop-up, Tim. That's a well-hit ball.
I don't know how well hit that was. She kind of got underneath that one.
Well, but it was a pop-up stays in the infield.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
You know, I pop up out there to
I'm a
the
tough guy out of these
center field.
It was just barely over the second baseman. Here we go. Watch this. See? She got way underneath that ball.
Look how far she went to catch that ball. Way deep. Look how deep she is.
Just off of the infield skin.
Come on, give her some credit. She hit the ball well.
Used to love to watch, while we have the switch between innings, I'll bore you with a story that if you had ever seen Chuck Thompson, who used to be the voice of the Baltimore Orioles for years and years, and he was such a homer. You know what I mean by a homer, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Well, the other team could make a spectacular play. Of course, it was on radio, so, I mean, he could say anything he wanted. Make a spectacular play, and it would be a routine out. You know, pop up, the guy is diving headlong into the stands to make the play, and then a Baltimore Oriole would make a routine catch, and it'd be the greatest play you ever saw. Chuck Thompson used to get so excited. So I just took a note from his scorebook.
I just didn't want you to shortchange the batter.
Well, that was actually the best inning now that, as far as not giving any runs up, that Bethel has had. They did get one run, which increases their total now to 9. And they did load the bases up, but Anderson did a good job of getting out of trouble there. Got him to pop up to left field there, right field. But Amy O'Brien did in fact score to make it 9-6. 5 hits unofficially. These are very unofficial, folks, trust me. 5 hits, 9 runs for Kecoughtan. For Bethel, 8 hits, 6 runs. And we're in the bottom of the 5th. Coming up to bat in this inning will be Stephanie Boyd, who replaced Kim Bell at right field. She'll lead off, followed by Michelle Gardner and Kirsten McVicker.
And this is the bottom of what inning?
Bottom of the 5th. Nine to 6. Kecoughtan has led from the beginning. And this one is low and away, ball 1. 1-1 the count to Boyd. Her first at bat in this ball game. What do you got on Miss Boyd there?
Well, let me see what I got.
And strike 2 on the inside corner.
She's just a freshman, plays center field for the most part, been playing for 5 years. Also plays the saxophone in the Bethel band. She's number 2 in her class, Tim, with a GPA of 4.08.
Tell us what, you know, for the people out there may not understand what a GPA is. What is
grade point average, a possible 4.00 average, and that's the top. She has a 4.06.
How do you get the 06?
Well, you just take tougher classes.
Oh, is that right? Well, that is, that really speaks highly for her. And we always like to recognize the athletes that are
absolutely
that are good scholars, and certainly Stephanie Boyd with that kind of scoring average in the classroom certainly should be recognized. In fact, a lot of these young ladies out here this afternoon have excellent scholastic records, and I don't think enough emphasis is put on that. Michelle Gardner steps in. She flied out to right field last time to lead off the 4th inning for Bethel, and she struck out in the 2nd, so she's 0 for 2. And we've got a runner at first, nobody out. And we're going to go ahead while there's a timeout on the field. We'll return with more action after this brief timeout. Bottom half of the 5th inning. 1 ball, no strikes to Michelle Gardner, the catcher. Runner on first, nobody out. Gardner squares around, fakes the bunt. Ball is outside for ball 2.
She has done it every time she's come up to bat, is to square around and to shake the pitcher up a little bit, and it seems to work.
Low ball 3. 3-0 the count to Gardner. Bethel trailing by 3 runs, 9-6. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. Tim Cole with Bob Hintz in our Channel 29, soon to be Channel 5, WHCS. Right here at Forest Elementary on Todd's Lane in Hampton. 3-0, and Michelle Gardner takes strike 1. We remind you again that on the 27th of April, we will be at Phoebus High School to watch the Kecoughtan Warriors visit the Phoebus Phantoms. I'm sorry to say the Phoebus Warriors. The Phoebus Phantoms, Lady Phantoms, and while I'm talking, Michelle Gardner draws a base on balls. So 2 runners on now, and the leadoff batter, Kirsten McVicker, will step in. Finish my thought. We invite all of you to come on out on Friday afternoon and watch that game between Phoebus and Kecoughtan.
All right, for Kecoughtan, we got Moody coming in, going to replace Gardner
at first base, running. So let's see. Miss Moody is. See if we can find out something about her.
Hannah Moody is a sophomore, number 10. She's a little more speed.
McVicker squares around and takes strike 1. Nobody out here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Runners on first and second. Leadoff batter Kirsten McVicker is at the plate. She is 0 for 3 in the afternoon, and she takes strike 2.
Hannah's just a sophomore, 15 years old, and she's been playing softball for 6 years.
And strike 3 is a good pitch by Price. McVicker had to protect the plate. Swung at a ball that might have been a ball, but it was too close to let go, and Price did a good job of getting her to swing at it. 1 away, and Jennifer Hubble steps to the plate. 2 men on, 1 out. Hubble walked into first, was out second to first in the second, and then she got a single in the 4th. Takes ball 1. Hubble scored in the 1st inning as well as the 4th. Strike call.
As a pitcher, sometimes you get trying to aim the ball in, and rather than just let it come across naturally. It looks like the pitcher for Kecoughtan, Carrie Price is kind of settled down, and it looks a little more fluid out there right now.
Just outside, ball 2. Two balls and a strike. 1 out here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. 9-6, Kecoughtan on top. Outside. 3-1, and the ball thrown away from Price, but alertly grabbed by the second baseman. 3-1 the count. Jill Deskowski on deck. And ball 4 is a little bit of uncertainty on the part of Jennifer Hubble, and well, she might. So the bases are loaded now.
And Richard McDonald is going to come out and talk to Carey Price. He may bring in one of his backup pitchers. I don't know.
Could be the Price is a little tired. She's thrown a lot of pitches this afternoon. She has had a fair number of walks that she's allowed, and a lot of 3-2 and 2-2 counts. So she's She's very possibly a little fatigued.
Well, number 21 for the Bruins is going to run for Hubble. Lopez, Lillian Lopez, number 21, is going to run for Miss Hubble. A little bit of better base runner. I don't know if I got anything on Miss Lopez or not.
Well, the batter is Jill Deskowski, and Jill has had a double in the first.
Well, this young lady's got a 3.8 GPA.
Grounded out in the third and doubled in the fourth. So 2 for 3 with 2 doubles for Jill.
She just moved here from Belgium. So she's a world traveler.
1-0 the count. Ball 2. So Deskowski looks down to Larry Estep to get the signal. Larry says, "What, are you kidding me? It's 2-0. Bases are loaded. We're down by 3 runs." And she takes ball 3. So I'm pretty sure we'll see a definite take sign here as a 3-0 count. Although Jill's got good power, he may want to see if she can clean off some of those bases, but that's a risk you don't really want to take this late in the ballgame. Bottom of the 5th.
Not if you got a chance to walk up.
And that's what happens. 4 straight pitches. Deskowski draws the walk. And Stephanie Boyd scores.
And the DH, Nikita Johnson, comes in.
Johnson had a single in the first, he had a single in the third, and a single in the fourth. She is 3 for 3. Nakia. And the ball is way outside. So Price is definitely fatigued. I don't think there's much question.
I'm surprised that Johnson doesn't come in. He's got some other backup pitchers.
Well, I have a feeling that this might be her last batter if she can't get this. And that's very strong subjection on my part. And again, same thing, outside. And it's 2-0 to Johnson. So 6 straight balls thrown by Price. And make that 7, as all 3 of these pitches have been way outside and low. I think her arm really is just giving out on her. So 3-0 to Johnson. Bases are packed. Just like a moment ago, I'm sure we'll see Johnson take this pitch all the way. And it's ball 4 high. So another run scores.
Yeah, we are going to get a pitching change.
And a good game pitched by Carey Price, but she just ran out of gas, I do believe.
Well, pitching for her is going to be number 20 for the
coming over from third
Bruin,
base.
that's from third base. That's Amber.
Amber Roughton.
The young lady is going to Soviet Union in the fall. She's an Olympic class roller skater. She's selected to travel to the USSR for 1 month this summer with a science exchange group. She's also in a German club and is an honor student.
So Amber will be given some warm-up pitches here. Needless to say, she had no opportunity to warm up. I guess she'd get about 8 pitches, I would assume. If you just joined us, you're watching AAA Peninsula Girls Softball. The Kecoughtan Warriors, 9-1 on the season, taking on the Bethel Bruins, 2-5. Kecoughtan has led from the beginning. They hold a lead of 9-8 right now, as these 2 runs that have scored via the walks have narrowed this game down to a 1-run game. And I should add that there's still only 1 out, and the bases are loaded. So Amber Roughton doesn't come into a particularly comfortable situation.
Well,
by any means.
if you come in to replace a pitcher, normally you come in as not an envious position to come in as.
It certainly would not be one of them. Bases loaded. Amy Anthony, number 13, getting ready to step in. Amy walked in the first. She got a single in the third and walked again in the fourth. So she is 1 for 1 on the afternoon. And of course, she'd like nothing better than to greet Amber Rowden with a hit of some sort. Bases loaded, 1 out. First pitch is a ball high.
Shortstop for Bethel from the place of Gardner Webb next year. Where's Gardner Webb?
Strike called. Dr. Still had a good question, and I think I know the answer. But where is Gardner Webb? You know where Gardner Webb College is? I think that's in.
I believe it's North Carolina, isn't it? Or is it in Virginia? I don't know.
I'm not sure. Ooh, a foul tip into the mask of Thompson, and she is momentarily shaken up. She's all right, it appears. I don't care how much protection you have on that face mask. That stings.
It's a jolting experience.
1 ball, 2 strikes, as Rowden has been able to get ahead of the pitcher. Bryce had just lost all control for the last 2 batters. Rowden comes this one in here. It's a pop-up to the second baseman, automatic out, infield out rule, and that's the second out. So Rowden gets Amy Anthony to pop up to the second base. That was all right. That was a pop-up, right?
Yes, it.
Okay.
Tim, if it's inside, it's in the infield.
I got to get my terminology down.
I tell you.
Bases remain loaded. But Larry Estep wants to have a quick conference with Jennifer Hughes.
I think he pronounces his name Estep.
Estep, excuse me.
Yes.
Estep. Larry and I aren't particularly knowledgeable about each other. So.
Well, he asked me about you, and I told him there was nothing good I could say. So. Yeah, he's one of the assistant coaches on the football team.
Well,
you know,
I thought
we've
he
seen him out there
familiar.
with Kozlowski when we did the football games. I thought you might recognize him. He teaches over at Lindsay Junior High School.
So the batter is Jennifer Hughes. Takes the ball high. Bases loaded, bottom of the 5th. 2 runs in. 2 away. 1-run ball game as Bethel has battled back and trailed 9-8 now. High and outside, ball 2. Take sign is definitely on from Larry Estep. How did I do that time?
That was excellent.
Amber Rowden set to pitch. And this was a little high.
Hey, Scotty, you got
Strike call.
We got a good crowd here today, Tim.
Base hit to left field. Score is tied, and an excellent job of hitting by Jennifer Hughes as she singles to left.
I think the catcher is mad. The bat was swung and might have hit the catcher.
You cannot throw the bat now. This is going to be interesting as to whether there will be an out called on this play.
It could be an out, but the run may count. I don't know. Let's see what the call is.
Boy, this would be a tough call for Bethel if it happens, because Bethel here has struggled back and tied the score. So all it's going to be is a warning. You're going to see here, you see the bat flung around.
She just threw the bat and knocked the catcher down.
Yeah, that's a dangerous situation. I'm hopeful that the catcher Thompson is okay. Of course, the Player safety is the first concern of all the coaches, regardless of whether you're on the team with the player hurt or not. So a warning given to the batter, but no infraction charged. So the Bruins now have tied the score. Still have the bases loaded. And a ball high. Batter is Victoria Wagaman. She flied out in the first, flied out in the fourth, and reached on a base on balls in the third. Bases loaded, tied up at 9. Ball too high. 3 runs across here for the Bruins in the 5th inning. 9-9 is our score. Strike called. Deskowski is on third. Johnson on second. Ball outside. And Jennifer Hughes on first. After that RBI single. 3-1 the count. It's one of those types of plays where the pitcher has to bring that pitch in. Of course, the batter doesn't want to swing at anything bad, because if she can draw the base on balls, it means a run. Right down the middle, strike 2. So the count runs full. 2 outs, bases loaded, full count.
2 out.
2 away. So on this pitch,
And we tie.
we're tied at 9. So everything's going to happen right here. This is crunch time, as they say. That's high, ball 4.
I think she took a little too much time bringing that pitch in.
So Deskowski scores. Johnson moves over to third. Jennifer Hughes to second. And Wagaman goes down to first. So the bases are still loaded. And it brings up Stephanie Boyd, who started this inning off with a base on balls. Bottom of the 5th. And with that last run, the Bruins have taken the lead. First time in the ball game. Boyd walked the last time up. 10th batter of the inning.
But the last time up, she didn't face this pitcher. She was up against Carey Price.
Strike called.
2 strikes, way ahead. First time that the Kecoughtan has been way ahead of the batter this inning. One other time I can remember, but not often.
Popped up down the first baseline, and that'll end the inning. So Boyd bats twice in the inning, and she pops up the second time to end the inning, but not before the Bruins are able to score 4 runs, and they go ahead 10-9.
And there you can see the Papa. She knew when she hit it that it was not a well hit ball, and it was actually caught in foul territory.
6 walks and just 1 hit for your 9 runs. There you see the score of the Bruins as we go to the top of the 6th. The Bethel Bruins have taken the lead, 10-9.
Yeah, for the first time today. And I hope my wife doesn't get real mad at me. I'm supposed to be out of my office at 7 o'clock to conduct a meeting.
Yeah, you look broken-hearted, Bob. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Well, you saw what I had sitting out there in the parking lot. Did you see that Porsche sitting out there?
Is that what that was? I
Yeah.
was looking for your car.
Where are you guys getting your score? We're just keeping them here. We got to take them. Scorekeeper over here's got. score at? 10-9. 10-9 Bethel. There's what we got.
We got a question on the actual score. One scorekeeper has it 10-9, favor Bethel, and another scorekeeper's got it 10-10. So we have it 10-9.
Well, you know, I'm not so sure about that because I did not. Remember, I said that Carey Price has scored 3 times, and then I would question myself on that.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure on that one. She reached on an error. That's the disputed run, in my opinion, is the one with Carey Price.
So you have it in the second inning scoring 4 times instead of...
Right. I could be the tiebreaker here. But I'm going to be real quick to add that my scoring is very unofficial. I'm real rusty at this.
They don't want 10-10. Well, it is 10-10. Okay.
Carey Price scored in the second, right?
Yeah, fourth.
Okay, that's one thing. I was right the first time, and I overruled myself. So
that's what you get for talking to yourself.
Yeah.
But we got a tie game, 10-10,
Okay,
so we have to change our score.
Yep. And I had Carey Price scoring 3 times. I even mentioned the fact she scored 3 times, and then I had crossed her off one time there. So.
They were just games,
10-all. How's that sound?
That sounds good. They were disputing the 4th inning score, but that's not the one that you were disputing.
No. Okay, so make it a 10-all game, top of the 6th. Leading off for Kecoughtan will be the right fielder, Blake Roughton, number 17. Which takes the ball 1. And strike 1. One to 1 the count to Roughton. Foul down the first baseline into the crowd.
Well, that was right where that last one was, and that would have been definitely a called strike. She's got to protect the base or the plate.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Roughton. Top half of the 6th inning, 10-all. And a hit up the middle, nice hit by Roughton. Center fielder throws it into second base.
I tell you, I'm impressed with this pitcher for the for the Bruins, Heather Anderson. She looks so wild at times. When she was warming up, she hit the backstop 4 or 5 times, but there she put 4 right across the plate in a row. Watch this hit. Nice hit by Amber.
The batter is Julie Thompson. She takes ball 1 while you're watching that nice base up the middle. Kecoughtan has a base runner here in the top of the 6th. Julie Thompson, the batter. 1 ball, no strikes. Squares around, bunts nicely. Fielded by the third baseman, and then she throws it into right field. Advancing all the way to third is Roughton. So we've got a runner down. The runner between second and first goes down to second base.
Well, that's heads up by the catcher, Julie Thompson. Nice bunt. Brought the runner into scoring position on the second. Bad throw, moved to the third, and then she ran the second while they were trying to discover what do we do with the ball. Heads up running.
That bunt play is the toughest play of all because you got so many variables.
Well, and I tell you, and I should have known this because Richard McDonald told me, he said, we'll do anything we can do to get on ball. We will bunt to get on ball because we are a fast team. We'll hit and run. We'll steal every chance we get. Very aggressive ball team.
Up the middle. McVicker's throw to first is late, and scoring is Roughton.
And going to third on the throw is Julie Thompson. But that was a nice stretch by the first baseman. Stretched hard to get the ball, caught the ball, but it was just a little late on the throw. And that's Emily. I'm sorry, that's the first baseman up there. That's Nori Turlington. Is that Nori Turlington? No. Who's playing first? Amy Anthony. I'm sorry.
We've had a few changes. The runner goes down to second. So runners at second and third now. The batter is Amy Pardue. Reached on a walk her first time up, swings and misses.
And Heather Anderson breaks out into a smile because that ball was high and outside.
Foul ball. Runners to second and third. Nobody out, one run in. Ball gets away from the catcher, and the play at home is safe. Julie Thompson will score.
She is a sweetheart of a player. You gotta love her. Small as she is, and she's a hustler. She's trying to catch a bat in her face today. That's pure hustle.
O'Brien moves down to third. Strike three call to Amy Purdue. And leadoff batter now, Rochelle Jacobs will step in. Strike called.
Well, that's right down the tube.
Yeah, this young lady you're talking about, Anderson, has good-looking pitch. Runner at third, one out. Inside ball. One and one the count. Nice pick up at third base, over to first for the out, back to home, safe.
That was a nice throw, a well hit ball, but it scores a run, so she gives her an RBI, her being the batter, number 13 for the Warriors. That's Rochelle Jacobs.
Rochelle Jacobs.
Another one of the tri-captains.
So O'Brien scores, and that's the third run scored here in the sixth, as the Bruins have very quickly put 3 runs on the scoreboard. There you see the replay of the ball being hit. Nice play by the third baseman over to first, then back to home, where you can see that O'Brien easily got in. Amber Rowden has to do the two-step to get out of the way of that pitch. 2 outs, 3 runs in. That couldn't have been a strike.
I better not have been.
Well, it doesn't matter because Rowden just hit it right to the left fielder.
Hit the ball well, but she hit it right to the left field. It didn't have to take but 2 steps.
But the Bruins score 3 runs.
No, the Warriors.
I mean, the Warriors, rather, score 3 runs. I'm still trying to figure out. The umpire signaled an 0-2 count after Rowden did the two-step to get out of the way of that pitch.
You want to ask him?
Yeah, you signaled an 0-2 count. Oh, okay.
We all do that, don't we?
That was 2-0.
They had it backwards. It was 2-0. That's what I thought. There you see
Well,
the tail end of the catch. I haven't got anything right all day myself, so I certainly can't be critical. It's a tough game to umpire. I'll tell you one thing. I've said this before, and I won't belabor this point, but you got to be crazy to be an umpire. How does that cover? Is that covered?
I don't know about being crazy, but
It helps. There you see some of the crowd on hand. A nice crowd out here this afternoon.
this is the bottom of the 6th.
Good number of fans on hand for this game.
Has Scotty got his portable phone in the truck? I can make a phone call.
13-10 right now. I got one in the car you could use.
How far is the car from here? Dr. Sam? How far is the car?
What's that?
Wait right there, up there by the other side of the building?
Yeah, but let me take it over here.
How about just, can you make a call for me? You know what call? Just
So leading off here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. I'm not sure, I was curious about this. They took Michelle Gardner out for a runner, but she's allowed to come back in. Interesting. So apparently you can pinch run, but then you can stay in the ballgame. Gardner leads off the 6th inning for Bethel. Strike call. Bob, I wonder if you could answer this question for me. Michelle Gardner had a pinch runner come in for her, but she returns to the ball game as a hitter now here in the 6th inning.
Yeah, they don't. They allow them to substitute for runners and then bring them back in and let them play.
Ball is high.
Yeah, it used to be the time the rule when you and I played. You get substituted for, you don't get to play anymore. But I think it's just when it's a base runner, Tim.
Gardner pops it up on the right side. Easy play by the first baseman.
I forgot to give you two re-entries. Hubble back in and Gardner's back in.
Okay. Those are re-entries. Hubble and Gardner both back in.
Okay.
We appreciate the umpires really helping us out today. We really appreciate that.
I don't know about you, but I need the help.
That's Mike Reha.
Ball high to McVicker. This is Kirsten McVicker. This is her 5th time up in the ball game, and she is 0 for 4. She reached on an error and flied out twice and struck out. Kirsten McVicker. Squares around a bunt and then takes a strike.
Looks like Rowan has got a little more confidence now on the mound than she did when she came in with the bases loaded, Tim.
Well, as I said, that's a tough situation to come into. You're cold, first of all. You haven't thrown a pitch all afternoon. And then to come in and get 8 warm-ups, which is great, but that's a big pressure situation.
It really is.
2 balls and 1 strike. The count to Kirsten McVicker. We're in the bottom half of the 6th inning. 13-10 in favor of Kecoughtan. Kecoughtan led most of this ball game. They were in fact tied. Now we had Bethel ahead at one point, but in fact they tied Kecoughtan in the 5th inning. And then 3 runs in the top of the 6th by Kecoughtan have put them back on top, 13-10. 3-1 the count to McVicker.
There's a good shot of Amber Roughton on the mound. Actually, it's not a mound in softball. It's you just go on the plate. It's not raised up like it is in baseball where you're pitching down.
Count runs to 3-2. Nobody on. 1 out here in the bottom half of the 6th. Foul ball by McVicker. Bethel trailing by 3. They play 7 innings in softball. This is the bottom of the 6th. McVicker pops it over the second baseman's head into right field. And she reaches first safely. First hit of the day for Kirsten McVicker. So the Bruins have some life. Stepping to the plate now will be Jennifer Hubel. She was replaced by Lopez and then re-entered the ballgame. So a rule that not all of us would be aware of. There you see McVicker's hit. She looped it over the second baseman's head.
Texas leaguer.
Hubel.
Is that right?
Yep, Texas
Okay.
league. Takes a strike. One on, one out.
I think Jennifer pronounces the name Hubble, if I'm not mistaken, Tim.
Okay. Well, we should apologize, or certainly I should apologize up front. Not being very familiar with either of these teams, I apologize for any of the young ladies' names that I might have mispronounced this afternoon. Certainly totally unintentional.
I tell you, Julie Thompson does a good job at that catcher. She dug that ball out of the dirt. Any other time, that would have been a stolen base.
She is a hustler. Inside and high ball. Count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Make a call for me while you're at it, will you? Well, I don't know. Ball is hit the center field, right to the center fielder. And the out is recorded. 2-away now. Runner at first, 2-away, and the batter is Jill Deskowski. Jill doubled in the first, grounded out third to first in the third, doubled in the fourth, and walked in the fifth. Again, all of these are unofficial. Strike called. Oh, 0-1 the count to Deskowski. 2-away, runner at first. Bethel trailing by 3.
And Jill has done very well at the at base today, has she not?
Yep, she's got 2 hits, a walk, and a ground out. So she is 2 for 3. This one's in the dirt, and McVicker will get second easily. So McVicker moves into scoring territory, and Deskowski now looking at a 1-1 count. Drives it foul down the third baseline.
Well, that ball was well inside, but she just couldn't resist it. Looks so good in there. You know you're going to get a piece of it.
One ball and 2 strikes to Jill. Right down the middle.
Oh.
Strike 3. Good pitch.
Nice pitch, and that's 3 outs.
So 1 runner in the inning, that a single by McVicker. But other than that, it was an excellent inning for Amber, I forgot her last name.
Amber Roughton.
Amber Roughton. I'm still having a hard time with some of these names.
Larry Eastep is still working the officials. He said, where was that ball? And the umpire says that was right across the inside plate, fat part of that plate. That was a good pitch, Tim.
That was a good pitch. That was right there.
Kecoughtan is going to have to do well this inning, maybe pick up a run or 2, give themselves a little bit of a cushion. They're up by, what, 3 runs, right? Hey, man, don't mess with the hand that feeds us. Tim is teasing Dr. Sam.
There you see it. Top half of the 7th inning. Warriors up by 3. If you just joined us, you've missed a pretty good ball game. The girls AAA softball. The Kecoughtan Warriors 9-1, and the Bethel Bruins 2-5, but playing anything like a 2-5 team, as they've given the Warriors all they can handle this afternoon.
Well, Larry Easteps told me, he said we are probably the best 5-2 team in the league. They have lost a lot of games, Tim, in the bottom of the 7th when they've had 2 or 3 run leads.
Well, now, are they 2-5 or 5-2?
5-2, I'm sorry.
No, he said 2-5.
Is he 2-5? Okay.
During that interview that you did with him.
Yeah, that's true. But they've lost so many in the 7th inning that really hurts him. I know he would like to return the favor and win some in the bottom of the 7th. Yeah, he is the home team.
So barring a tie, this will be the final inning. Bruins have had good relief support this afternoon from Heather Anderson.
Well, Heather has gotten stronger, and her control seems to be getting better in the later innings. She's the kind of person that looks like you need to get over there and let her warm up for about an hour, because she has definitely gotten better.
Top of the 7th, Kecoughtan.
Missy Clark.
Missy Clark to lead off. Number 14, shortstop. She has grounded out twice and reached on an error. She is 0 for 3.
She's had 19 stolen bases this year, had 26 assists and 18 putouts, playing shortstop for the Warriors. She's batting .314. What has she done today?
0 for 3.
She has not helped her average today.
Three balls and no strikes to Missy. Squares around and looks at ball 4. Wasn't sure. It was close. But
yeah, I thought he might call it on the corner. That was close. But he's got a better angle at it. I'm off to the left side, so it's hard to tell. Here's the first baseman, Emily Belbin. We're going to get a runner in. Number 7, Cindy Holland in for Clark on the running on the base. She is very, very fast. She is batting .400, but she has stole some. Let's see what kind of steal record she has. Her numbers. This is the first girl off the bench for the Bruins today. Has 11 for 11 stolen bases, but has not played many innings, Tim. She's a cheerleader, SCA representative, honor student, graduating with highest honors. She's a member of the draft club. She's going to North Carolina A&T next year on an academic scholarship. Look at that speed. I mean,
strike call to Belbin as Holland scoots down to second base, overran the bag and almost got tagged out.
She's too fast.
Yeah. Emily Belbin at the plate is 0 for 4 this afternoon. Didn't you tell me earlier that Emily was the leading batter, had the best average on the team?
What number she sticks?
Number 6.
Let me get through my plethora of information here.
She hits this one to center field. Center field's got a beat on it and gets it. And then throws to third. Good throw. The third baseman, had she come up on the ball, might have had a play. But tagging and advancing is Cindy Holland. Belbin goes 0 for 5 on the fly out to center.
You're right. She is the leading batter on this ball club. I find it by the time it's out, but she did bring the runner to third base
On a close play.
Yes.
Good throw by the center fielder. So the first baseman playing in has the ball batted by her by Price. Price gets the single.
Well, that was real smart bringing Cindy Holland in. She. Watch this.
This is the tag-up play. Yeah, we're not going to see the very end of it. Or are we? No. At any rate, Price is down at first base with a hit. She has scored 3 times today. And she reached on an error in the second. She reached on a base on balls in the third. Got a single in the fourth. Flat out in the fifth. And now singled here in the seventh rather. So she is 2 out of 4 on the day. And she's promptly steals second.
Well, that was just the catcher's fault. That time she was halfway down, and she threw it to the pitcher. She just took off. She being Carey Price, she is deceptive in her speed. You had talked about that earlier, but we got a good chance to see it that time. She's also very heads up, very smart. But she's been playing for 4 years as a starter for the Warriors. I'm sorry, yeah, for the Warriors. That's a good shot from our center field camera. Our people do an excellent job.
Blake Routon, the batter. Blake singled in the sixth, singled in the fourth, struck out in the third, and walked in the second. She's 2 for 3. And the count on her is 3-1. Price is at second base. 1 run in here in the seventh. And Price will advance to third on the base on balls and the pass ball.
But what do you want to bet that Miss Routon runs to second on the first pitch?
I bet the ranch on it.
And look who's coming up to bat. Julie Thompson, one of the other tri-captains here, batting .308.
Julie's 0 for 2 today, but she scored 3 times.
And she's batting on the left-hand side too, Tim. She's a switch hitter.
Yeah, figure that one out. She's 0 for 2 and has scored 3 times. And as you said, there goes Routon down to third. And they try a play to throw the ball to the shortstop to draw Price in, but she's aware of it.
Do you see what she did? She batted left to make it a little harder for the catcher to throw the ball.
Yeah.
Heads up. Now, I'll bet she'll bat right-handed. Smart little player.
Yeah, that is. It's a good point.
I'm not clapping. I'm trying to kill some of these friends that are flying around here.
Some of these Northampton Skeeters. 2 balls and no strikes on Thompson. Thompson saw the signals and said, "Say what?" I've always wanted someone to do that. I've watched them do those signals before and I said, "What in the world are you calling? Foul ball." Foul tip, but it wasn't the 3rd strike, I don't believe. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. I don't know what the fans are getting excited about.
No, that was just a foul. It was not a pop-up or anything. That was just a foul, just a strike.
Yeah, they're getting excited over there. This one's high outside. 3-1.
I like that little guy. She's a spunky ball player, Julie Thompson. She's out here. She's gonna win.
She's the kind of team leader you need.
Yes, sir.
Ball high. So they're not so sure. Our Mr. Umpire, who has been most helpful to us and called a good ball game, his call of a ball is hard for the players to understand, especially on the close ones. They look at him like, "Did you call a ball or a strike?"
Am I walking or am I out?
Well, in this case, it was a ball. The runners at every base now.
And how many outs?
You've got your basic 2 outs. Ball batted by the pitcher, and it allows Price to score.
Now the ball just jumped out of the pitcher's hand. That would have been an easy out. But it was a high bounder, and it just went right out of her reach. Watch the replay on this. Nice camera work. Watch this, Tim. Right, and you know you got to go for the ball, but that made the shortstop have to move over and play it from a different angle, and by that time everybody was safe.
Yeah, that's one of those unfortunate things where you try too hard and you're trying your best, but in doing so you actually hurt your team.
Well, that was an excellent camera work. Is that Hooker over there on that camera? Ron Bateman on that camera. Hooker's on the top of the truck. He's up in the air. He better watch out for a lightning. Or
Amy Perdue is the batter.
And there's a good shot from Mr. Hooker. Right overhead. That's a good shot.
Bases are loaded. Strike call. Two runs in, bases loaded, 1 out. Here in the top half of the 7th inning. 3-2, full count.
Well, now we got bases loaded, 2 out, full count. Top of the 7th. What would Harry Carey say?
Holy cow, is what he said. And ball 4 forces in a run.
Michelle Jacobs, one of the tri-captains, is coming up. Batting .333, has an on-base average of .650.
How many outs, Mr. Huff? Thank you. I thought that was right. Just 1 out.
I thought you told me 2.
No,
What do you mean you told me 2, and then you say I thought I was right?
Yeah.
Your
I said-
logic escapes
I
me.
said 2 once, and then I said
Oh.
once. And then I corrected myself because I looked at my official score sheet. I got 1 out. That was Emily Belbin who flied out to center. And that is it so far for the inning. Ball gets away. And good slide by Thompson there. She took the pitcher out, Anderson.
I tell you,
Yeah,
she
big
is
time.
a hustle. That's the second time she has stole home, and I think we got the catcher's hurt a little bit.
Yeah, I think she might be. That was a kind of a tough play there. She caught.
Watch this steal.
See, the two of them collided there. They ran into the pitcher. Actually, really got dumped. She got her feet knocked out from underneath her.
I was
Catcher
trying to
got
catch
shaken
up what happened to the catcher on that play. If we can play it again I didn't catch what happened to the catcher that time. Did
I
you,
guess
Tim?
this would be an appropriate time to say, play it again, Sam.
Play it again, slow-mo.
Oh,
Play it again, Sam.
Sam's out here. Yeah, that was a tough play there because the sliding Julie Thompson tripped the pitcher who was trying to cover home. What happened was the Bruins had too many players trying to cover home, and in the confusion there,
But the catcher was back at getting the ball, was she
I
not?
think she might have caught the ball on a short hop, and it might have hit her in the leg or
Oh,
something.
she's got her right hand behind her. Evidently, she may have hurt that right hand a little bit.
Umpire checking out. Make sure we're going to have to.
Well, let's see who the Bruins would bring in as their backup catcher. Will be Nikita Johnson.
Nakia.
Nakia. I tell you how to pronounce it, and I pronounce it wrong. And we apologize to these young ladies.
Anderson's pitch just scared the daylights out of Dr. Sam. Here we see that play again now, the steal at home. And there you see.
Oh, the catcher was back behind.
Yeah, she was behind the play. I think she got hurt on the pitch. I think the ball must have bounced up and perhaps hit her in the arm or the hand.
Yeah, that's had to be what it was. But that was an excellent slide by Julie Thompson. And here we got another walk. Loads the bases again. Brings up Amber Robertson. Oh, Amber Robertson. Amber Roughton.
We're only good for names for about 2 hours.
Hey.
And after that, it just falls apart.
We've been here for 3. Ruth said, "What do you get done?" I said, "About 6."
Yeah.
It's already 7.
Yeah. Last time we did a softball game, we just breezed through it, if I remember correctly. Not this one. This one has been, well, let's see. It's going on 3 hours long, and we're only in the 7th inning here.
Well, I got 5 after 7. What do you got? I started at 4.
Oh, it is 3 hours. You're right.
I was worried about my math there for a minute.
Bases loaded. Pitcher pops it up, and is out number 2. So finally, the Bruins are able to get an out as the pitcher, third baseman turned pitcher, I should add, Amber Roughton, flied out to the pitcher for the second out. So for the second time in the inning, Missy Clark, well, check that, because Holland came in for Clark. So
Yes,
that's Cindy Holland. She'll stay in for now. She takes the ball high.
This is her first year playing, and but she has been a nice asset for this team. Look at the camera work.
Ball 2, and coming in to score for Kecoughtan is Amy O'Brien. So 5 more runs here in the inning for Kecoughtan. They've still got runners at second and third, 2 out. And Holland squares around and looks at the pitch, but she went around on the pitch, so a strike is called. Waved at that pitch, and the umpire correctly called a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. 2-way here in the top of the 7th. Anderson, who has pitched since the 2nd inning. It's a lengthy relief job for Heather Anderson. Holland has the count at 3-1, 2-away, runners at second and third, and 5 runs in here in the 7th.
Bring him up a little bit.
Anderson looks in and throws it behind Holland. So that'll load the bases again as Cindy Holland will go down to first.
Emily Belbin, the first baseman, batting .429. The leading batter has a .657 on-base average and is a .907 fielding average. Makes very few errors.
Takes a strike. She is way overdue as she is 0 for 5 this afternoon. She is way overdue here. Bases loaded. 0-1 the count. Two, high and away, and the Warriors almost got in trouble, but fortunately for the Kecoughtan team, they were all able to get back.
That's Jamie Pardue down there on third base, and she's laughing because everybody else thought she was coming in. The other 2 base runners had almost stole their bases.
Inside, ball. Bases loaded. Top of the 7th, 2 out. Purdue is out at home. So a little mercy of sorts there.
Yeah, it was a nice, violent effort by Jamie, but she was out. Nice call. But brings up the bottom of the 7th, and how many runs do they have to get?
They're down. Well, that's right. You know something? That inning is not over with. That was ball 4. That's right. Ball 4 was the count.
If that was the 4th ball, that is no out. It was not 4 balls.
Whatever.
We better make a tape change here. You want to cue him?
I don't think I need to. You've already done it. We'll be right back.
That's what I was going to say. There you see the score, 18-10.
Or 19.
Or 19. Nakia Johnson is on deck, number 4. But we have Missy Clark, the shortstop, coming back in, replace Cindy Holland, who was the base runner and got a 1 at bat and walked.
So Johnson will lead off, and she'll be followed by Anthony and Hughes in the bottom of the 7th.
Well, we're going to make some changes. Wow, we got a wholesale change. Number 8 going in. Number 12.
All right, Amy Johnson would be number 8. Susan Forbes would be number 12.
And then the shortstop, I'm trying to pick up her number.
That's
I'm sorry, the
18.
third baseman.
18. That would be Shannon Bridgecamp. Bridgecamp, is that what it says?
I'm not sure. All I can see is the spelling.
Ridigan in for Price. Ridigan. We got Forbes in for O'Brien. Okay.
Johnson, they have number 8 Johnson as well.
See, that's why I left. Watch that. Number 8 came in, I saw.
Out in left field, is that who came in?
Call the ref. I'll get the referee.
You bring in Amy Johnson too. Jamie.
So Johnson did come in for Pardue.
Larry Eastep a little upset because they're letting the substitutes warm up a little, which you're not allowed to do unless it's a pitcher. But they're warming up as the Kecoughtan coach was giving the changes to the official score over there. But Larry said, let's get on with this game. We want to score some runs.
All right, let's go. Here we go. Bottom of the 7th. Kecoughtan up by 8. This is Bethel's last chance. Nakia Johnson at the plate. Strike 1 called. Nakia singled in the 1st, singled in the 3rd, singled in the 4th, and then drew a base on balls in the 5th.
She's 3 for 3. She's had a good day. As a DH. That's what you want your DH to do.
And she hits this with a mile over the left fielder's head. Nakia hustling for a second, and she'll hold up with a stand-up double.
Well, that was a long double. She really connected with that ball, Tim.
So she goes 4 for 4. Can't get better than that.
Where did that ball go? I'd like to see where that ball went.
That ball was well over this
Did Joe come back to the bathroom yet?
the left fielder's head.
I'd like to see that one. Let's see that when Joe's back from the bathroom. There it goes.
Watch this ball well over her head. I mean, it hit almost, took one bounce and almost hit the fence on a bounce, Tim.
Amy Anthony steps in.
Let's show him. Let's take it out there. We'll get the picture. Okay, no out.
If you're Kecoughtan, what you want to do is get the runner, get the easy out. One run's not going to hurt you.
And this one is hit well, but fielded nicely by the center fielder for the first out of the inning.
Both of those balls were hit well. Wow, but that was a nice play by number 13 out there in center field. Rochelle Jacobs, one of the tri-captains of this Warrior team.
Jennifer Hughes steps in. Runner on second, one away. Bottom half of the 7th inning. Bethel trailing by 8. You're watching Bethel and Kecoughtan girls softball. Tim Cole with Bob Hintz and the crew. And we'll be back at Phoebus High School Friday the 27th. Hope to see a lot of you out there for the same Kecoughtan team, as they will be hosted by the Phoebus Phantoms. Rowden's pitch is a strike call.
Watch this last out, this long, nice camera work. Look at this hit to the center field, and she makes a nice move. She had to go about 5 steps and then leap up to catch the ball. Great job by Rochelle Jacobs. Good camera work, crew.
This one hit up the middle for a hit. Johnson held up momentarily, but then was able to get to third, and now she'll try and score. And she will. So Jennifer Hughes connects up the middle.
Well, now the runner on second base could have caught that ball, but there was no defender around. Well hit ball. That's 3 well hit balls in this inning. Watch this, and there's a good shot of Big Tim. Oh, that's me standing behind him there. Look at the shot, Tim.
So Victoria Wagman now is going to be pinch hit for.
And that's Wiley is going to replace her. That's Mary Wiley, number 12. See if I got anything on Mary.
Mary is a junior. Tell you that much. Runner on second, 1 out, 1 run in.
She's been playing for Bethel for 3 years as a Latin Club president, junior class secretary. She's on the SCA. She's going to study psychology. We better watch out. That's what you're going to college for. Might figure out what you and our problem.
1 ball, no strikes. 2 balls and no strikes. Now I wonder if you could re-enter. I wonder if they could, if they wanted to, if they could bring, not that they necessarily want to, but if they could bring Price back in as a pitcher. I guess they could.
Well, she was playing third base. But
yeah. Strike call. 2 balls and 1 strike.
But they've taken her out of the game now. I don't know if they can re-enter. I thought just if they, like for runners or whatever.
I'm just curious.
I'm not privy to that information.
2-1. Rowden's pitch is outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. Mary Wiley, the pinch hitter. And ball 4, so 2 men on now. So runners at first and second, 1 out. And the batter is number 19, Stephanie Boyd.
Boyd, let's see what I got for Stephanie.
So Wagaman now will re-enter the ball game, we're told, for Wiley. So Wiley pinch hit, and then Wagaman is allowed to re-enter as the runner. 1 out, runners at first and second, 1 run in, and an 18-11 game. Kecoughtan leading by 7 here in the bottom of the 7th and final inning. Broughton delivers a strike. Low gets away from Julie Thompson, but the runners having to be cautious don't advance. You just can't take a chance of getting someone thrown out when you're down by 7.
No, that's heads up a softball. You have to play the odds, and you can't be real aggressive because you only have 2 more outs. And you're now behind a few runs.
Outside and high. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. Stephanie Boyd is the batter. Popped up, and Roughton fields it for the second out.
Would that not have been an infield fly rule, Tim, with the runners at... I thought you might know.
That's the one rule that I've never understood in my whole life. So
well, you had runners at first and second.
I believe that is.
And only 1 out, so.
I think you're right. I think that is the infield fly rule, but I have never understood that rule.
Well, see, the reason being, from what I understand, is you could play it to drop. If you're good, you pick it up, you get a force at third and a force at second. What was that?
Earthquake.
Nice shot of the derriere of Coach Estep. I'm sure he doesn't appreciate that one.
So 2 away now, and this is the last chance for the Bethel Bruins. Michelle Gardner, the catcher, takes strike 1. We want to thank everybody here at the field who was responsible for helping us set up this afternoon. The facilities are certainly a pleasant place to. Hank London, I'm told, is one of the people to thank. Gardner hits it down to the third baseline, and that'll do it.
And that was the easiest play, and that will close it out. Good job by both teams. Bethel got down and then came back, but that's going to make a big game Friday between this Kecoughtan Warrior group and the Phoebus Phantoms.
And again, we want to thank Hank London for his help and assistance in setting up this afternoon. There you see Michelle Gardner as she swung away and topped it down to the third baseline. And it was fielded there by number 18, Shannon Bridigan, and that was the final out of the ball game. So that's going to do it. Final thoughts before we wrap this up, Bob?
I'll tell you, it was an excellent ball game. It was a game that showed us a lot of offense. But we saw some real good softball out here today. Both coaches have to be pleased with the way the team played. You got to be upset if you don't win. But you know, that really sets up a nice game this Friday for first place. I'm looking forward to that, and I urge the fans to get out there at Phoebus High School at 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock, the 27th of April, 1990. Well, that's going to do it. The final score here from Forest Elementary. The Bethel Bruins fall to the Kecoughtan Warriors. Final score 18-11. The Warriors victorious as they run their record to 10-1, and the Bruins fall to 2-6. Well, for Bob Hintz, this is Tim Cole and the entire crew. Thanks for watching. Good night, everybody.